Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to this highly anticipated VFNL match of the round. Round 9 sees the top two sides separated only by percentage. It's the Devils who host East Point. I'm joined by Grant McMillan this afternoon, who was with me for the extra time preliminary final thriller, which would be still quite a vivid memory for both sides and the supporters alike. Macca, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Good afternoon, Toddy. Good afternoon, everyone listening in. Yeah, geez, if we get a game that was as close as the Plim final was last year here this afternoon, it'll be a cracker, Todd. And Darley had its chances to win that game as well, and went into extra time, and East just went bang, 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 and the game was over. So, you know, looking forward to a really close contest here this afternoon, second versus third. So,
1-2.
Oh, 1-2, sorry. It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Yeah, no Brady Wright for the Devils, no Lucas Impey, both not released by their respective VFL affiliations, and Zane Lahoure and Lise Bateri sidelined with injury. Each Point near full strength, just Geordie Slater on the sidelines. So, as far as peak availability goes, East Point just with the slender advantage there, but the inclusion of Nick Hind in the off-season for the Devils has really elevated their position, especially against East Point and Melton in a coming Sunbury, not to mention the influence of Billy Myers across half-back.
Yeah, well, he ironically is an old East Point boy, Nick Hind as well, Todd, so yeah, look, he's provided a lot of leadership and experience to the younger guys, and you can see at times he'll start across half back in a game, and then he'll just go into the middle and put his imprimatur on the game as well. But you know, getting a player straight out of the AFL system, you know, you can't really wish for much more than that in country footy and community footy, because of the standards that they bring and the professionalism that they bring as well, and that tends to lift everyone else in the team. And you know, you mentioned Billy Myers. I mean, in that Plim final last year, he had a terrific game and just, you know, sat behind the footy at times and just sees the game so well. And with the disposal that he has out of the back line, it helps set up a lot of attacking moves for Darley as well.
And they're getting some handy contribution from their depth players this year too, the Devils, having been unable to field arguably their best 22 to date. It's a little bit sort of soldier in, soldier out with the bottom half a dozen, but sporadically they're making valuable contributions and have been rewarded from week to week. One or two have been lobbing in the best, which is quite encouraging for the Devils moving forward. In earlier games played today here at Darley Park, East Point comfortable winners in the under-19s, and again comfortably in the reserves. But we're expecting a different tale altogether for the main prize fight here, the main event. It's Darley hosting East Point. The bounce coming up for you in about 3 minutes' time. Stick with us by the BFNL Match Centre. Welcome back to Darley Park ahead of VFNL's match of the round. It's a round 9 fixture. It's 1v2, 7-on-1 both sides, separated only by percentage. What a mouth-watering contest we've got in front of us. If their last meeting's anything to go by, but it's a new season. It's a new game. And all the big dogs, let's call them that, they're out there. And they're all in the middle of the ground at the moment as the siren sounds to get played away. Darley will kick to the right of screen in the opening term. Loose ball opportunity. The left of screen, the Devils, in fact. So Jeffrey got the first hand pass over to Van Meel. Right foot kick, bouncing ball to an outer centre wing. Foot race on. White was good last week with his last match against his whole job on Jamie Quick. It's the youngster right for East Point. Sent the ball towards the attacking 50. Myers had a bit of it, couldn't pull it down. Cousins shoveled it out towards Cadman, who's gone to ground. Loose ball opportunity, and it's gone over the line for a boundary throw-in. It was Gardner, in fact, wearing Joel Cadman's former number 17.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to here, Toddy, the tactical battle between the two coaches, because, you know, they want to get the game played on their terms, so it'll be interesting to see how they go about it.
Clearance battle will be an all-important watch as the two number 35s go out aerially in the ruck contest. Van Meel, Rodemaronis, just got quick ball to boot, won't gather required. Mullins' attack on the ball was good. Gather was clean. Hand pass was not so. Meant for Merritt. Got to him on the bounce, but he's held up. The umpire says, I'll ball it up. So no breeze to speak of, Becker. We can score at either end.
No, that's good. That's what you want. You don't want games marred by wind.
Ball up. Ground ball opportunity for Bewley onto that left boot. Just overkicked the kick meant for Azzopardi, who's outpointed on that occasion by Merritt. And his rebound off half-back crucial to East Point's chances today.
His foot skills are elite.
And so is this marking ability of Billy Myers, but for the second time he dropped what he should have taken. But his short kick was good and found Nick Hind. He gets an important early touch. So he waits the ball perfectly to Andy Azzopardi, who marked. Decent crowd in attendance. Not quite the halcyon days of the mid-90s, Macca. But the kick is a turnover. An opportunity here for East Point to rebound. And they go short to the youngster Willems, who's a likely-looking young player. He goes with the right boot towards half forward. Brown and Myers. Myers out points. Brown on that occasion wastes no time. Chisels the ball and found Baker. He got it to Hind. And a couple of the big mids combined, and the kick was terrific to Duncan Cadman. Fended the ball over towards Edwards. Opening shot on goal is good. Devils off to a good start here with that one inside 50 entry as equated to a goal to Edwards.
What fantastic foot skill movement of the ball there by the Devils. I mean, basically, by the time Billy Myers took that mark, the ball then came through the centre, and Nick Hind has just hit Duncan Cadman on the run moving forward. I mean, that's just beautiful ball movement, and to be able to move it that quickly and then, you know, get through East Point's defence where they couldn't react quickly enough. I mean, that's the difference between winning games and not. The greatest skill in the game, move the ball as quickly as possible, and when you execute it like that, fantastic outcome.
Back at the restart, Devils with the opening goal. Tap one by Van Meel. Rodemaronis had it knocked away from him. Baker, number one clearance player in the competition. Dribbling ball to half forward. Foot race on. Inglis was courageous. Head over the ball. Released it only as far as Merritt. Chance for Bryn Thompson. Fed the hand. Out to Dodd. First touch in about 8 months, given he's been missing with injury. And the Kangas, they link up for the chain for the first time of the afternoon. And the spoil on the ball is good by Joel Cadman. At the safety of the boundary line, will get a throw in through wing out of side.
Be interesting today, Todd, if he applies the same tactic that he did in the grand final last year, Carmody, sending an extra player up to forward stoppages to see what they can get out of those.
Boundary throw in. Hovey was favoured by the shallow throw in. Baker started well, fed the hair pass toward Nick Hind, dropped it. Lucky to get away with it. Chance there for the young right who sent the ball forward. They keep trying to knock it forward here, East, and Brown obliges by foot, but only as far as Myers. Hind is held up and carried over the line with ball in hand. Jeffries, the pursuant, will get a throw in on half forward out of side for East Point. Both sides come to play. The intent is good. Tap one by Hovey. Rodemaronis, important. Their leading player at ground ball level. Ball sent into attack there by Myers. That was Jones, in fact. And now Myers over the top. Got a fist on the footy, but the umpire picked out a free kick here. Matthew Brett a little bit despondent there. It'll go to McDougall. So McDougall averages more marks inside 50 than any other player in the comp. and he's damaging on goal, and he gets the square up here inside the opening 6 minutes.
That's a good goal there to equal things up there from the pocket, Toddy. Obviously, the kick around the corner has its use, but one of the things that I'd really like to see East Point today, when they're coming forward into the forward 50, is to kick the ball to Bryson McDougall's advantage. Too many times, in past games that I've seen East Point, they've just bombed the ball forward and expected him to compete and take a mark. Let him use his size by kicking the ball to his advantage as a starting point, and then work from there.
Goal apiece, living up to the billing already. Tap, well, we'll give it there to Van Meel. Through traffic, went high, released the ball. Cousins. Well, he put Gardner under the pump. No Pryor will get a ball up here on true centre half forward for East Point. Big cheerio to Peter Leonard tuning in up from Moama. Former Darley president. Tap one by Van Meel. Bewley to the voice of As a Party. Gee, super play. Waste no time going forward to the Mercurial Johnson. Juggling attempt, couldn't hang on. Hatcher got out the back. He can give it over the top here to Duncan Cabin or go all the way. He goes the forward and gets into Duncan Cabin, and he kicks an open goal, and the Devils respond.
What perfect positioning there by the young fella. I mean, he's not long into his senior career, young Hatcher, but to be at that point when the ball hits the deck from a contest in the forward line, I mean, that was perfect positioning, and well done to him, and then executed the ball forward to Duncan Cabin, and another goal results. Terrific play by Hatcher.
How's the feed between the arcs by the three midfielders, branded BHP up there in Ballarat? Speaking of Bewley, Hind and Baker, they've had some telling disposals very early in this game, especially by hand.
Yeah, and just really skillful players who execute well.
Back at the restart. Tap one by Hovey. Chance there for Cairns. Quick hands. Got it to Matty Johnson, who found Dobb with a confidence-building kick. Long one at that in the McDougall direction. Brown with the defensive spoil on the footy. Look at Wright. He's a racehorse. Got a terrible bounce, though. Gardner read it best and went to the outer side centre wing. Chance here for Fawcett, who kept his feet. He did well and fed the ball by hand. Kicks smothered there of Joel Cadman. Rebound opportunity here for East Point. McDougall couldn't quite hang on. Matthew Brett. Touch of the fumbles there from Gardner. Open the door for McDougall. Has he got two? He has.
Well, that was extraordinary there. That when the ball hit the deck, the only person that seemed to want to pick it up was Bryson McDougall. He was under no pressure whatsoever. And I think he was probably just surprised in the end that he was able to get the footy, pick it up and think, well, geez, I better kick it and have a crack. Well, that's extraordinary, that.
Yes, the Devils will be disappointed with that, but when you're not clean against the good sides, you get punished, and that's what happened there. And but Gardner will rebound. He's had a good year. Yep,
but at least when the ball hits the deck, you've got to have people competing there for the footy.
Ball up. 2 goals apiece here. Goal for goal at Darley Park. Ground ball. Bewley ridden into the ground, umpire called play on. Left foot kick out of the congestion towards East Point's half forward line. Good pressure. Heavy tackle there on Ward. And we'll get a ball up. 2 goals apiece here, opening 8.5 minutes. We'll keep you updated with scores around the BFNL as they come to hand. Tap one by Van Meel. Loose ball. Crawford was met solidly, but he was up to the task with his courage. Squared away a stoppage in the end. We get a repeat ball up. So Matty Johnson, who's missed the last game and a half with a back complaint. It's a good leap there by Hovey. Van Meel did the ground ball work, fired it out towards Matty Johnson. He went forward, Brett in front. Took a nice mark in front of McDougall on that occasion. Wastes no time. Came broadcast side. Look at that. He's one of the better kicks in the Devils side. Bewley got it over the top there to brother Jack. So he can square the ball. So they've been efficient by foot, and they're actually the number 1 efficiency team at the moment, the Devils in the comp. And Crawford's kick found Cousins. Look at that for a beautiful kick. Found Myers, who didn't have to break stride, and sent that forward. This is super footy. Chance here for Fawcett. On his left foot, the youngster goes into attack. Johnson! So they've nearly gone coast to coast here, the Devils. The ball hasn't hit the ground, Macca.
That's just fantastic. That's to be able to move the footy like that by foot. The last 5 kicks to not hit the deck. I mean, that's extraordinary in community footy, unless you're being placed under pressure. But that's why that's why the half-back position is so important in the game these days. You look at players like Mace Cousins and Billy Myers from half-back. That sets up a lot of your attacking moves.
So it'll be Johnson, the Devils' leading goal kicker, to set sail And he's put it through, Johnson. He's on the board, and the Devils get their third. And it is goal for goal. That's the pattern here this afternoon. We've been playing a very entertaining 10 minutes, Macca.
We certainly have, Todd, but in these games where it's 1 versus 2, every time you get an opportunity to kick a goal, you've got to take them because, they're generally pretty close games and, you've got to seize that chance when you've put in all that hard work to execute and get it to a position where you can have a shot. So you've got to finish it off and make it count.
That should make the highlights for all that goal from... Remember that, 9 minutes on. Our tech staff will take care of that. Ground ball opportunity from Hind, and away he goes, the racehorse. He took a bounce, ran to half forward, then checked his run and chipped it over the top. Kick meant for Duncan Cadman. Got it to him on the bounce. Hind kept running. He couldn't kick goal of the day already, could he? Went across the face, and guess who? Johnson, he'd pop up in your soup at the moment, but he was over the line and out of bounds, so East Point get an opportunity to take a breath. So they go lateral, and the kick was okay to Merritt. So the trusty boot of Merritt will get East Point from in trouble to out of trouble. Look at that. And a great spoil on the ball there from Joel Cadman. Saw it over the line for a boundary throw-in on half-forward out of side for the Devils. Well, what a game. This is just what we wanted. A game warm enough and no breeze. And two of the top sides just separated by percentage.
Top two
going
sides,
at it, Macca.
Top two sides in the comp. This is what you want to see, Toddy. This is what people come to watch.
So stick with us right throughout the afternoon. It is BFNL's match of the round. Darley 3 straight 18 lead, East Point 2 straight 12. Both sides making the most of their opportunities in their front half. On the goal front, at least. Lavery held up there by Baker, and we'll get a ball up.
No extra sitting behind the ball here, Todd. All matched up in East Point's forward line.
Loose ball opportunity here for Hucker. Fed the ball out by hand. East Point got numbers. Molan was clean. Geez, he was a nightmare for Darley in that prelim, especially in extra time. And his kick found Cairns, who found McDougall. Forced to go by hand to Lavery. He's a likely type. He just needs to gather. He finally did, but it was all too late. He ran out of time and space. We'll get a boundary throw in adjacent to the scoreboard here at Darley Park. So two of the premier midfields in the competition going head-to-head today. Both sides average 53 inside 50s all season and 11 centre clearances each as well. Little separates them, but Myers is one of those that can separate, and he does. Got it to Hind. He gave it back to Myers. Got it over the top there towards Cadman, and the kick was good to Jack Bewley. Went to go. Now he decided to go by foot, and the hit-up was good. And it found Andy Azzopardi, who just when you're looking for Johnson and you're looking for this guy and that guy, Andy Azzopardi bobs up. He doesn't mind a goal a game, Andy.
Well, when you look at the spread of goal kickers that both sides have got, Todd, they've got some really good forward kicking capability.
Well, Andy's hit the scoreboard already. He wasted no time and said, but I'll just drill this. And he made no mistake. And the Devils, 4 straight 24, lead East Point 2 goals straight 12. And, of course, you have to go back to 2014 for the last time East Point defeated Darley here at Darley Park, touch wood. And we've got a ripper game on here. I mean, fortune will favour the brave and the efficient, Macca, so you'll get just reward. And you'll be penalised for your inefficiencies.
Yeah, well, you've got to hit your targets and make them count.
Labouring into the ruck against Edwards. Two lesser names in that role. Over the footy there was Inglis. Couldn't gather. Molan could. Fed it over there towards Willems, who went wide to the pocket. The low pocket here at Darley Park. Excellent one-on-one. We'll call it even with Matthew Brett and McDougall seeing it over the line for a throw-in.
Well, when I said about kicking the ball to McDougall's advantage, I didn't mean 15 yards in front of him, so he's got to go and try and run and pick it up. I meant sort of,
Well, you've been spoilt, Macca, in the opening 14 minutes. I mean, we're back to where the level should be.
Yeah.
Boundary throw-in. Tap one by Van Neal. Hurried kick out of the congestion there from Ronald Moronis. One bounce over the line. So, unlike the Devils, East Point like to rest their mids forward and see Matty Johnson spending time deep forward at the moment while he takes a break. I know the Devils midfield enjoy to have some time off the ground.
I don't mind that, especially if you've got a bloke like Johnson who can kick goals while he's up there.
Loose ball opportunity.
I mean, if they're fit enough to stay on the ground and not rotate all the time, I mean, why not? Might get a mismatch.
Ball up. Well, we'll give that to Van Meel to no real advantage. Myers taken to the ground by Jacob Brown, whose mother's here today, tuning in, enjoying the call. Mrs. Brown, welcome to the show. Rodder Moronis wanted the hold, played on it, wasn't given. Umpire didn't take the bait. Edwards fired the hand pass out, meant for Myers. Van Meel just threw it onto the boot. Last line, Trusty Cousins, and
Tell you what, he was lucky he didn't get 50 against him near the East Point play. He well and truly marked that Mace Cousins and, then pushed over.
Well, I thought there was a chance there when I heard the immediate whistle.
Yeah.
But he just wanted McDougall to come back. The kick went beyond the defensive 50. Gee, Fawcett was the fly. Crash and pack the youngster. Now chance for Adam as a party. Hand pass meant for Bewley. Found the boundary line instead.
Well, good start by both teams, Todd. We're halfway through the first quarter and there's only 2 goals in it, but it's been a very high standard of footy.
Yeah, and a timely buy for all sides last week, and we're seeing the benefits of that already. Both sides very fresh and sharp nonetheless, which is good too. Ground ball, Fawcett was good, but he missed the target by hand. Meant for Adam Azzopardi back in the side today. Well, good luck finding a better game of regional footy around Victoria this afternoon. This one's a belter. Boundary throw in. Lavery had front spot. Rodder Moronis has had a handful. Johnson, Geordie, his first touch. Well, I thought he might have dropped it there, but he's hung on too long. And Brett Bewley just saying, how so? But Geordie will get his first defined possession of the afternoon, and he's their number 1 player for score involvements, Geordie Johnson, number 2 in the comp. So he goes to brother Matty and just went over his head, wide to the pocket.
I must say, Todd, interesting choice of ruckman for Darley. Edwards has been contesting the boundary throw-ins against Van Meel. I mean, whilst Van Meel's not a tall ruckman height-wise, he's certainly a lot bigger than Edwards is, and I might wonder if they maybe would use Duncan Cadman or Will Johnson at some point.
Throw in, tap one by Edwards. Shark well there by the youngster.
Case in point.
By Molan, and the finish was good.
Strength at the boundary throw-in, put it straight down his throat. So yeah, that's an interesting choice of ruckman for me, Edwards.
Darley 24, East Point 18. Near 18 minutes gone opening term. Most of the key players of both sides getting their hands on the ball. I think they're all on the board, Macca. On a statistical front, which is encouraging. Joe Dodd back into the side today. His first game this year. Just off for a spell. Ball up. It'll be Edwards and Van Meel. Call it even. Edwards tried to go with the outside of the left boot, but missed it. Rodder Moronis did gather, conceded ground by hand. Only a little bit though. Merritt's kick, telegraphed it, and it was effectively smothered in the end. Fawcett held it up to square away a stoppage, and we'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground.
Seems to have a decent leap though, coming the other way across from the opposition ruckman Evans, but with boundary throw-in's a bit different.
Van Meel won the tap. And Jones just took a little bit too long, said the umpire, and Baker will be the beneficiary. Plays on, goes into the pocket, looking towards Johnson in front. He had a bit of it. It was the right call by the umpire. And we'll get a ball up 50 metres away from the Darley goal. Johnson did the ruck work, fell back into his hands, quick hand pass over towards Adam Azzopardi, has a shot on goal. Has he got the distance? Touched on the line by Howard. The first behind of the afternoon. It's taken the best part of 20 minutes to register. It goes to the Devils. They're 25. They lead East Point 18. So it'll be Merritt with that laconic, effective style, who found Matty Johnson, who continues the pattern along the line, and they combine here. Jeffrey dropped what he should have taken. Chance of Fawcett. Got it over towards Adam Azzopardi. Got the overlap. Look out! And quick hands there from Jack Bewley. Got it towards Joel Cadman, who went deep to a 2-on-1. Johnson, the one number there for the Devils, but it's thumped through for a rush behind. So East Point surviving the last couple of entries from the Devils.
Yeah, haven't converted there, but obviously that was a good bit of play to put the ball to the top of the square at least, rather than try and kick the goal if you can't. Good percentage play there from the Devils.
That'll be Matty Johnson to bring the ball back into play on this occasion. Q goes along the line towards Geordie Johnson, who took an ice mark in front of Cousins. So he played on. Just got a bit of it off the instep here, so it'll favour White in the end, who fed the ball by hand. There was a poor hand pass meant for Baker. Now he's forced to do the hard work now, Baker. Turnover opportunity through Molan, Van Meel, Brown, right foot kick, deep into attack. Excellent grab taken there by Billy Myers. Jeffrey did a lot right. He could have almost got a hold there, but they're away, the Devils, with a third bounce. And they'll run to the D50. Myers covering the ground well this year. Right foot kick found Fawcett, who started well. He's held his width out there, and he's been around a hot footy. So he's just starting to warm to the level. So he goes with the left boot towards half forward. Johnson, meet in the sandwich. Thompson will get the ground ball, send the ball back with a loose left foot kick to a 2-on-1. Communication breakdown there from the Devils. Open the door for McDougall. Brett, clever little tap. Fawcett was clean. Gathered, fed the ball to White. He can go to Joel Cabin. He can just steady the ship. And the kick was okay. And he found Bewley. No, it's the youngster there in
Hatcher,
yeah, sorry, to half forward out of sight. Strong tackle there from Hind, and we'll get a ball up. Gee, they're a mile away from us here when they're up against that boundary line on the outer side. Darley lead by 8 points. Ball up. Rodamaronis held up. Shrugged the tackle with strength. Got away from Baker. Not easy to do. Got it to Matty Johnson. Standing start kick to half forward. Good use of the body by McDougall. Ran to 50. Looked inboard to Canny. He can finish here. Lowers the eyes and just missed off to the right. So a let off at one end for East Point, and now Darley at the other.
Yeah, really should have converted that. Just did not kick through the footy at all there. Just tried to steer it through, but I thought he might have put that 10 rows back from where he was.
So the Myers kick in found Adam Azzopardi, gave it back to Myers, and the stretch was good from Andy Azzopardi. Gee, there's a mouthful of brothers out there this afternoon. So Andy Azzopardi on the right boot from half-back, high kick, was just a territory gain in the end. He got plenty of it, but Merritt, good use of the body on Fawcett.
Says a bloke who was one of 3 brothers that played for the Devils.
And Cairns took a mark on centre wing, but the free kick's going to be paid to Molan. So Molan with ball in hand. Lowers the eyes and found Rodamaronis, who's been busy at the coalface in this opening term. Right foot kick, Jones at the back, got a hand on it. Support came from Cousins, composed, found Hind, knocked it back to Cousins over the shoulder. Oh, and Jones came from with a bit of a unnecessary push in the back there on Cousins. Not sure the umpire saw that, but yeah, they're pretty disappointing there from Jones.
Yeah, not great. Certainly when it comes from behind.
So Cousins was corralled by Molan, so he was forced to go by hand to Ward. He found Myers, and he'll steady the ship for the Devils to White. He'll just chip it over the top. The kick's okay. It's in good hands. Matthew Brett, normally a beautiful distributor of the drop punt. He went wide out in the direction of Cadman. Off hands over the line. We'll get a boundary throw in. True centre wing out of side.
I must admit, Darley have been good at holding East up with slow play at times, and it's really stifled some of their forward entry. So very well executed defensively, the Devils at the moment.
Shallow entry was knocked back over the line for a throw in. Just before the quarter time break, we're 25 minutes in here. I'll endeavour to get a score to you at the next stoppage. Throw in. Chance for Van Meel, who's been industrious. So too Matty Johnson, who's starting to accumulate. Right foot kick wide. McDougall, clever, kept it in somehow. Had a couple to beat, but found some support in the aid of the boundary line in the end. Round the grounds quickly. Sunbury 40, Bacchus 13, Sebastopol 9, North Ballarat 7, Lake Rindaree 20, Redan 18, Ballarat 3, Melton 13. Loose ball opportunity here for Jones on the left boot, goes wide to the pocket again. Gee, they continue to go to that left forward pocket there, East Point, and I'm not sure why. Just getting a little lost, and not for the first time. Another boundary throw-in to take place in the pocket. Throw-in. Loose ball opportunity, gathered by Andy Azapati. Quick hands to Bewley, sweeping hand pass, went to the voice of Myers. Missed him, but Hine was there to provide the support. And he went with the right foot kick to out of centre wing. Jack Bewley was good. Could have copped a hold from Thompson, and he'll get it in the end. So Jack Bewley, with the right boot, goes towards half forward. Looking for brother Brett and found him. And he wheels onto that left boot. What a beautiful kick that was. Johnson, and it knocked away from him by Romerall. Inglis around the ball, shoveled out. Chance here for Thompson through traffic. Couldn't gather cleanly. Went to ground. And we'll get a ball up. There's a couple of players wrestling there through traffic. Johnson, force it, can get onto the left. Not quite. Fed the ball by hand to Joel Cameron. Got it to Bewley. Steadies. Does the Brett Bewley thing. And does the Brett Bewley finish.
Well executed there. Probably made something out of nothing there, the Devils, because, you know, it looked as though one stage the ball was almost going to be balled up. But, you know, really well executed there by Brett Bewley, just with that sidestep and just a beautiful kick on the run.
Well, there's a bit of hot potato going on at the moment. And it was like Bewley's like, well, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to push forward, get it and finish, and so I can get it back in the middle for a restart.
That's what the class players do, Todd.
And I expect it won't be for the first time this afternoon a kangaroo gets Bewleyed. He's in some fine form, is the dual Henderson medalist.
Yep.
We've got some talent out there today. Of course, the reigning Henderson medal, Matty Johnson, getting a bit of the ball as well. But he goes Hind, out of the middle. Was just read well off the boot there by Q. And timely one at that. He went with the right boot out towards Jones, over his head, right and White. White got a touch of the fumbles. Right kept his feet, and he's away, the young Kanga, and the kick was good. Excellent ball there from Cousins on Geordie Johnson. Good running off half back there from Gardner, but he's run down by Molan and pinged.
That's a great chase. That's what you want from your forwards, defensive pressure like that.
27.5 minutes gone, and Brown presents and took a mark 55 metres out from goal.
Yeah, coaches love that stuff, Todd. That's the sort of stuff that can help win games when it's tight. And terrifically executed tackle and run down there from Alex Molan.
So it'll be Jacob Brown. Only Bryce McDougall has kicked more goals than him in the East Point side in season 2025. So a bit of a different role this year. Spent time back, now forward. And he'll kick from inside the centre square. He got plenty of it, Brown. Has he got the journey? He has. What a terrific goal. And a timely one at that for East Point.
Well, he needs to be going over and patting Alex Molan on the head, which he does. That's a terrific piece of play there from Alex Molan. Resulted in another goal to East Point.
Well, Macca, you've had a bit of ball inside the centre square there at Darling. That is quite a kick to get it
yes.
beyond the goal line over half a dozen players jumping at it.
Yeah, the great Gavin Lloyd used to kick him from about 15 metres inside that centre square, Todd, and put him through half post goal height back in the day.
We won't deny the present. That was goal of the day contender. While it was directly in front, it was 65 metres out. And here they go again, the Kangas. Myers went back with the flight of the ball.
It's a hold
here. It's a hold here.
Yep.
It's going to go to Geordie Johnson. And it's against Cousins, I think. And so he's a little bit confused. So Geordie Johnson will have a chance to get East Point within, 1 point. Ahead of the quarter time siren. Near 30 minutes gone in this opening term. Of course, East Point have won their last 5 opening quarters. And Darley have won 4.5 of those. Of course, drew one. So it'll be Geordie Johnson directly in front. Come on. And he snuck it in. And the Kangas are within a point of the Devils. And deep in time on in this opening term.
Yeah, not the time of the quarter. I mean, it's not a great time at any time of the quarter to get goals kicked against you, Todd, but to have a couple in 2 minutes at the right at the red time of the quarter, that's something that you certainly don't want. 1
point ball game. That's what we have. That's the reality. BFNL's round 9 match of the round live from Darley Park via the BFNL Match Centre. It's trying to squeeze in another score from around the grounds as the ball gets retrieved here. Sunbury 53, Bacchus 13. North Ballarat 13, Sebastopol 9, Lake Windermere 20, Redan 18, Ballarat 10, Melton 13. Ballarat missing quite a few players from their preferred 22, but in the game against the reigning premier. Ball up, tap one by Hovey, found Hind, he went back to the ruckman, who fed the ball by hand. It was meant for Bewley, cut off there by Matty Johnson, broke the tackle of Andy as a party, fed the hand pass over towards Willems, he just got rid of it just in time. Devils under the pump here, ball gets out the back, bounces end on end. Myers, the pursuant, gathered, had to take on a two speedsters. They're trying to run him down, but found the safety of the boundary line in the end. We'll get a throw in. And now Darley asked to defend again, deep in time on. So it'll be Hovey and Lavery. Neither ruckman could gain the ascendancy. Umpire called play on. Gardner fed the ball to Hind, who was held up, and we'll get a ball up 25 metres away from the East Point goal. Ball up. Tap one by Lavery. Devils have got numbers here. Can they work it out? Well, Brett just went with the soccer in the end to a danger zone. Chance here for Dodd, who fed the ball by hand. That was nearly dropping the ball. Lucky to get away with it. Willems here, but the ball was spilled out the back. Chance for Hatcher. Good work off out of centre wing there by the Kangas. Ends up in Kenny's hands. Tumbles the ball forward. Awkward. Crawford got a kind bounce. Was able to send the ball back to out of centre wing. Howard the fly with the big spoil. Waiting at ground level there was Cairns. Pressure there from Andy as a party. Went to ground. Gee, they're away there, the Kangas, but it's going to come back to a free kick for Andy as a party.
Yeah, a bit of a clumsy tackle there from the East Point player. Has had as a party well and truly under the pump and just let him out there with that tackle.
Andy as a party goes in the Edwards direction. He got it knocked away from him. Hatcher was clean, fed the ball by hand to Baker. Lowered the eyes, went forward. How about the kick? Found Duncan Cabin, who turned around. Just got some separation on Thompson. Released the ball by foot. Just inside that quarter time siren. That'll be a point. And enough to get the Devils to a minimal 2-point lead here at quarter time. So the run of first quarter wins for East Point comes to an end after winning their last 5. It's Darley 5-3-33 who lead East Point 5-1-31. Mackie, you got the goal scorers.
Yeah, for Darley, Edwards, Duncan Cadman, Will Johnson, Andy Azzopardi and Brett Bewley. And for East, McDougall has 2, kicked the first 2, and then Molan, Jacob Brown and Geordie Johnson. Couple of goals late there, real advantage there for the East.
Well, the highlight of the term for me was that opening 10 minutes. Both sides were right on. It was 3 goals apiece. It was goal for goal. But some of the passages of play from both sides was a level above momentarily.
Yeah, the transition, from Darley a couple of times from half-back, one resulting in a goal to Cadman and then the other one resulting in a goal to Johnson, was terrific to look at. But as I said, we're playing 1 versus 2 here, and, you would expect to see that sort of skill quality between the two sides. But, as we said at the start of the game, the side who's going to use the ball more efficiently and can execute better, especially under pressure, will more than likely be the ones to come out on top.
Quarter time here, Darley lead by 2 points. In other games, Sunbury 53 lead Bacchus 13, Sebastopol 9, trail North Ballarat 19, Lake Windermere 20 lead Redan 18, and Ballarat 10, trail Melton 13. Guys, a break and back with a very entertaining BFNL match of the round, second term in around 5 minutes' time.
A yawn. It's the body letting you know you can't go on without the delicious, rich new blend from McCafe. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. a yawn. It's the body letting you know you can't go on without the delicious, rich new blend from McCafe. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to Darley Park ahead of the second quarter in BFNL's match of the round 9 action. And as quick as a wink, just when we thought Andy Azzopardi had kicked that goal in the opening term, we've just looked down. Macca, as those East Point players had done also, and Myers got the handball receive and did one of those all too familiar finishes.
Yeah, he does that a bit, Myers. It's something they've got to keep an eye on. He did it a few times last year in the Plim final as well, but it was certainly quick sleight of hand, that's for sure.
Stick with us. We're only a quarter of the way through this potential classic here at Darley Park. Ball up, tap one by Hovey. Stolen there by Bewley. Left foot kick, deep into attack. Chance here for Q on the non-preferred left. He thought it went on the full, but it just bounced inside. Hucker kept it in among three Devils and just tossed the ball onto the boot. And again, it's a 3-on-1 for East Point. Numbers will prevail here. The hand pass of Cairns found Jeffrey. Went to go back to Cairns, got a touch of the fumbles. And we'll get a ball in, centre wing broadcast side. So a 2-point lead to the Devils. Gee, I was just saying off air, Macca, you could actually play really well today and lose.
Yeah, you could. It's certainly been a very high standard of football, and as you can see by the scoreboard, it's very close and might maintain that all day.
Van Meel with the tap, loose ball gather. How was that there from Hind? It was almost too quick there for Cadman, but he'll get a high, and he'll get the free kick and get it over the top to White if he's quick enough. Hind was encouraging that the ball went there, but he'll go lateral to Myers. He's had a super year, averaging over 28 disposals across halfback. And they get a couple more to add to the tally as Hind gave it back to Myers, who under pressure, the kick was effective, and found Gardner, who weighed up the option. He'll go direct here, and he'll go in the Johnson direction with a one-on-one against Q. He got out the back here, just needs to sit for the leading forward. It does. He hasn't got a lot of room. Squaring kick, overcooked it. Meant for Duncan Cadman. Cairns, another touch of the fumbles. Bewley said, well, if you don't want it, I'll have it.
Terrific effort there from Will Johnson. And when you see the fact that just the composure that he had, and that's why I bang on it about it a bit, Todd, but you just got to centre the ball to the top of the goal square. And I know there's skilled players around who can, maybe kick a check side on the run or, snap round the corner and things like that. But if you're in a forward pocket and you can't kick a goal, you need to be putting it to the top of the square. And then when you've got, contested players like that who can win the ball and end up kicking your goals, that's the desired outcome.
Bewley gets his 17th goal of the season, having already surpassed his returns of last year. And we're only halfway through the season. Of course, Johnson heading for a career high in that premiership year. He booted 40. He has 28 at the halfway mark. Tap from Hovey was good. Got it to Bewley. Look out. Run down from behind. Umpire called play on. Lucky to get away with that. Van Meel, standing start. He's been okay. Sent it out there in the direction of Molan. Good pressure from Gardner. Support came through Matt Riccardi. And they'll square away a stoppage here. We'll get a ball up on half forward out of side. Darley, the only goal of this second term in the opening 3 minutes to Brett Bewley. Tap one by Hovey. Rodamaronis tapped it, and it's stolen from Adam Azzopardi. Overcooked the hand pass, meant for Brett Bewley. Has to do his own follow-up work. He's outnumbered here. Now he's under the pump. The umpire says, I'll have it. Geez, the heart rate goes up when they drag it back in, Macca.
Yeah, it does. Some of them try and disguise it better than others.
All up. Van Meel won the tap, only as far as Matt Riccardi. Hind, standing start, had no momentum, so he had to go back to Gardner. He got it to White with a high up and under kick. Nice mark taken there by Adam Azzopardi. This time he hit the target by hand to Nick Hind, who went into the pocket for Johnson. Took a nice mark on the chest, bounced back up like a jack in the box and squared the ball in the Joel Cadman direction. Second grab, got it. And they're squaring the ball, Darley. Each point we're going to that left forward pocket, Macca, and we're like, what are they doing with with that time in possession? And
that's another great kick there from Will Johnson in terms of being able to put it just out the front of the goal square. Joel Cadman, is a really good mark in the air, and that's paid dividends again. So good ball movement there from the Devils.
Oh, the Devils finished third last year. Joel Cadman was their best player in the finals. Can he finish here? He can. Goal umpire does not move. Back-to-back goals for the Devils early on in this second term. So Joel Cadman joins brother Duncan with a goal each. Brett Bewley has a couple, and one each to Johnson and Edwards. And Myers, of course, cancel out that. And we're back at the restart here. Nothing in it. Both sides having their time with the footy. Hovey, ground ball, Hind, applied the tackle on Cairns, who hung onto it that time. Tap one by Hovey. Bewley got it to Baker. Molan from behind. Couldn't get away from him and pinged. So they got the second one East Point. They were a bit unlucky not to get the first one about a couple of minutes ago, but the kick from Molan was good and found Jeffrey wide in the pocket. And they go there again. Out there in the direction of Geordie Johnson, who took a nice mark in front of Cousins. Didn't do a lot wrong there, Cousins, but quality X-Factor player and terrific overhead mark there from Johnson.
I think that's a troublesome matchup for the Devils. He's very, very strong in the air, Geordie Johnson, really strong above his head. And, I'm just not sure that Mace Cousins has got the body size to go with him in the air. So you might see these players focus on Geordie Johnson when they go forward a bit.
Right foot kick from Johnson. We'll just go to the goal, teeth of goal, ground ball. It's just rushed through for a behind. Well, Cousins has got form on Geordie Johnson. He a couple of years ago up there at East Point, he kept the X-Factor star forward and was playing high minutes forward, pretty much goalless, really. So hence the matchup again as Bewley brings the ball back into play, goes wide in the Joel Cadman direction. Did all but take the mark in the end despite the pressure of Hucker. Inglis fed the ball to Joel Cadman. Chance here. And got that handball received from Adam Azzopardi. Put him under the pump. And the beneficiary will be Rodder Morona. So he squares the ball. This is what East Point fans will want to see more of. Some squaring of the footy on this big ground here at Darley Park as Brown goes direct. Inside 50. Players fly. In front there was Hovey. Brought the ball to ground. And a sling tackle will go against Geordie Johnson. We'll go the way of Crawford. He'll go short. Umpire will call play on here. But Myers was aware and just kicked that ball like a player in form who just found Matt Riccardi as composed as ever. And Matt Riccardi looks like every bit of intent of conceding ground here, but they kicked and let him down. It's a kick of a confident player who's had a good month. And Ward found Myers, who's had arguably more of it than anyone. How about that kick? He needs a spell now, Myers. He's got a sore foot. As Joel Cadman squares it to Bewley. I hope Myers is okay. It's just, I hope there's no leg complaint. He's got a smile on his face. So the ball goes to half forward. Going back with courage there was Cousins. Ground ball opportunity here now. Players swarm in. There'll be a stoppage on centre half forward for the Devils.
Jeez, it's a dangerous kick at times, isn't it, when players are leading away from the footy like that when others are coming to it. But if no one's providing an option coming to the footy, you've got to kick it to someone.
Loose ball opportunity. In for Matt Riccardi, tumbling kick. Gee, Jack Bewley got a terrible bounce. Favoured Howard in the end. High up and under kick into the middle. Who wants it? Molan did, but he got dumped in the end through traffic. There was good play there from Gardner. Backed himself, was going to do the old-fashioned talk, but then lowered the eyes. That was a composed decision. Went through the hands of Hatcher. Jack Bewley could hang onto the footy. Brett Bewley over it, shoveled it out to Baker. Can he finish? He can! And the big guns combine to get the job done. With a moment of separation. A terrific hand pass out from Brett Bewley to provide the goal assist for Luther Baker.
Yeah, terrific contest again from Bewley once the ball hit the deck there. Just some interesting entries into the 50, I must admit, for the Devils this quarter, Todd. But, once the ball is getting in there, they are competing on the ground and at times making something out of nothing. And that was a classic example of that. And when it goes from one skilled player to the next, generally that finishes in a positive outcome. And Luther Baker scored accordingly.
Ball up in the middle. Hovey, tap. Bewley, Merritt, Bewley just knocked it forward, force it, went to ground, swarm of players around will get a ball up. And Mitch Gardner running through the middle there, 10 games ago, he would have done the old bomb forward, but he was able to...
his eyes.
Yeah, and had some composure. Got it to the danger spot. Hovey, good thump, Hatcher, pushed off the ball there by Thompson. Jack Bewley went to ground, held over the ball there by Thompson. Speak of Breen, and we'll get a ball up. 19-point lead to the Devils. They've kicked the only 3 goals of this second term. Dangerous signs for the Kangas. Hovey won that tap. Somehow just fell back into the belly of Van Meel and we'll get a restart. 50 metres away from the Darley goal. Hovey, Hind just spin it before he had it. Thompson was a hot footy nonetheless. Ground ball now. Bewley over the footy. Could have been held. Umpire called play on. Swarm of players around the footy now. And one umpire will intervene and we'll get a ball up on half forward for the Devils, who lead by 19 points. Ball up. Hovey could have been held. Umpire said no. Van Meel just kicked the ball into traffic. Chance for Romerall, got a touch of the fumbles. They've been a bit fumbly on occasions here, East Point. But Matty Johnson just secured that ground ball gather beautifully and got it to Willems. That was an excellent gather at the ankles there from Cairns, who tumbling kick was effective, and found Jeffrey. He'll continue the pattern along the line. Geordie Johnson presents in front of Cousins and took a chest mark. On centre wing out of side for the Kangas. And they'll look to go wide into the pocket again. Players set themselves. Gardner was strong against Rodamaronis, conceding weight and height. Chance here for Ward, who went back to Matthew Brett. Searching hand pass. Good run there by... It was Gardner again, dribbling ball towards outer centre wing. Gather was clean from Romerall. Brown the kick, terrific, sublime. Found Johnson, who played on. It was Thompson, in fact. Right foot kick inside 50. McDougall's got a couple to beat. Got a fist on it. Good forward defensive pressure. Opened the door for Rodamaronis, who was ridden into the ground there by Cadman. But the umpire said, I'll have it.
Good recovery there from Joel Cadman in the marking contest, and then when McDougall's come through and gone with the footy, he's ran and chased again and tackled well.
Loose ball. Matty Johnson gathered, find the hand pass out, couldn't get it through the traffic. Hyman, the clever little dribble into Fancy Gardner. Little metres gain, kicked only as far as Merritt, who gathered on half forward, went wide to the pocket again and found Lavery. About 45 metres out from the East Point goal. So, an athletic type. I was really looking forward to watching Lavery and Impey go at it today.
Yeah, he's only a kid. He's obviously good body shape and good height. So, another one of the good East Point juniors that comes through the system.
Awkward kicking style is right and always right through for being behind their third of the afternoon. The margin now an even 3 goals. Darley 8-3, East Point 5-3. Before you know it, the ball's been brought back into play by Matthew Brett. Jeez, he's a good kick. Unlike the next kick, was just cut off there, opened the door here for the Kangas through right. He just tumbled the ball into the pocket. Jeez, they're loving their forward pockets at the moment at East Point. They just can't get that ball into the danger zone.
Yeah, defending well, the Devils.
Boundary throw in. East Point in attack here. They trail by 3 goals. Tap, one in front there by Edwards. Cousins kick smothered. He'll get a second attempt here. Clever little tap out, though, to keep the ball alive. Joel Cadman dispossessed, over the line, throw in. Dan Jordan will be happy with this, where this game's at the moment. 13 minutes into this second term. Throw in. Edwards got a little important fist on it, but East Point have got numbers in front here of the contest. Geordie Johnson couldn't gather. Second and third efforts there from Edwards was enough to put pressure on the kick. But now it's into the danger zone. And Crawford was up to the task. Took a nice chest mark under pressure. And he looks to square the ball. He landed in the middle of 2 Devils. They need to work it out because here comes McDougall, and they do so. And they lope it out of defence cleverly. Good. Umpire's picked out a free kick here. It's going to go to Willems. So Willems with ball in hand can rebound for the Kangas and send it back in as quickly as it came out. Right foot kick in the Rodamaronis direction. Terrific grab.
Strong in the contest, isn't he? Gee, that was a good mark.
He's had a good afternoon. He just gets under the radar on occasions, Rodamaronis, but the more stoppages in a game of footy, the more beneficial he is.
A contested beast.
Yeah.
And a well-skilled player too.
He's got very much a get-out-of-my-way demeanour, as Rodamaronis. But more importantly, he has an opportunity to get the Kangas back within 2 goals. Kicks on its way, looks good off the boot, just off to the right. So they've had a period of play in their front half. They're just not getting bang for buck as Matthew Brett's kick in, meant for Myers, was cut off there by Howard, who's a mile away from home at the moment.
First score there for East, 14 minutes, 40 seconds into the second quarter, Todd. Devils have put on 3 goals in the meantime.
Yeah, Brown's gone to defence, so he looks like they're +1, but he's gone to Johnson momentarily, so they've got Lavery and Dodd, so Darley should have numbers in their back half. Now, wanting a hold there was Geordie Johnson. Denied by the umpire. Adam has a party. Got it towards Inglis. Hand pass meant for one Devil. Baker got it in the end. Bewley, clever. Right hand pass. Got it to Joel Cadman, who went to a danger spot, but Brown. And the numbers prevail behind the ball for the Kangas on this occasion.
Read the footy well there, Brown. As you would expect, you're loose.
So he'll go short to Howard. He'll just chip it over the top to Geordie Johnson. Little bereft of option. Now Brown wants it with a backward 45 kick, and it was okay. And they can get the overlap here. And they went the shorter option. Did Brown? He got it to his mate in Merritt, who just loped away towards the defensive 50. Squaring kick. That was dangerous. Could have gone along the line again there, Merritt. Not sure he went the right option, but given his skill set, we'll trust his judgment and the experience, of course. But they've coughed it up here, the Kangas.
As good a kick as he is, Merritt, if you're going to bring the ball back to the centre through there like that, you'd want to be hitting a target, because this is what happens.
Inglis, Cadman. Took a nice grab. Yes, they had. They were out each point. Merritt had that overlap player on outer centre wing, but elected to take it on with that inboard 45 with a kick across the body and raised the degree of difficulty, and unfortunately it didn't come off, and there was a resultant turnover, and Joel Cadman will have a shot on goal for his second of the term. So each point, with essentially the last 7 or 8 minutes of play, haven't been able to kick a goal, and now Darley get a moment with it. And he makes no mistake, Joel Cadman. He gets his second. Darley get their 9th, and ominous signs for East Point here at Darley Park. The Devils are out to a comfortable lead, mid to late through this second term, a game-high 23-point advantage.
Yeah, it's a good little buffer, and that's why when you're coming out of your back line, that's why your exit kick is so important, because it doesn't, if it results in a turnover, Darley's going to burn you back the other way.
Yeah, they're just rotating matchups, trying to get them right each point. They just can't get it on their own terms in their back half. But credit to Darley and their entries. They've been quite efficient. They are the number one side going inside forward 50.
So Brown is the loose in the back line here for East, and Mace Cousins for Darley at the other end. So be interesting to see who has the most effect on this battle.
Swinging a miss in the air by Edwards and Lavery. Geordie Johnson wanted the hold again, denied. Kennedy fired it out to Rodamaronis, who went by hand to Thompson, who's swarmed by Devils. Forced one of those. And we'll get a ball up. From one centre circle to another. Lavery, Edwards, tap one by Lavery. Molan, taken on the ground by Adam as a party, and we'll get a ball up. Ferocious young player is Adam as a party, like his intent. Bewley tried to shovel it out to Baker. Through traffic went Edwards. That was almost clever. Chance there for Lavery. Quick hands to Canny, to Geordie Johnson. Got over the top to Molan, who took on the tackle of Matricati. Forced a release by hand, but too long, said the umpire. It was good pressure there from Matricati, who goes short and hit another target. Gee, they've hit some targets today, the Devils. Haven't seen him in this form against East Point or Melton. They've been 0-5 in their last 5 outings between the top 2, East Point and Melton, in recent times. But gee, they're on their game today. Cousins, standing start, left foot kick out in the Johnson's direction. Oh, it went through his hands. Gee, did everything right. He got the separation, Johnson, but just couldn't hang on.
Really important there, possession there for Cousins. I did say before the bounce that he was the loose, and when the balls come up the ground, he hasn't just sort of hung around the centre. He's got that ball at half forward and nearly hit Will Johnson to have a shot at goal. Throw
in, shallow one, favoured Lavery. Clean bowl, Geordie Johnson over the door for Bewley. Somehow kept it in, hopeful rather than anything else. But there was 3 Kangaroos there. Todd was one of them. Brett Bewley got it back. Didn't go the required. Non-preferred. Andy has a party. Oh, have a gift, Andy.
He is just never out of the game, Brett Bewley, is he? He's just never out of the game. He kept that ball in play there, kept it in the contest. Ball comes back out, he wins the ball again, and bang, hits a target, and he has a part. He's got a shot on goal. Like that's terrific work ethic there from Brett Bewley.
Super. Kept that ball in, kept it alive. Even the cameraman's shaking his head in awe of Brett Bewley and the things he's been able to do today. And he has a party. Now he's got the goal that we spoke of. Near a goal a game, Andy has a party. And gee, they've been highly efficient here today, Darley. They've been very impressive. And the lead extends here. been an impressive showing. 10-3. They've kicked 5 unanswered goals in this second term to break it over to a 29-point lead.
And been very accurate, 5 straight, which is good. They've taken their chances, and that's what you need to do when you're playing a side that's right next to you on the ladder. You've got to take your chances and capitalise on them, and that's what Darley have done in this quarter.
And all the 50-50 ball, Darley well on top there with their efficiency and cleanliness. Look at that, right on cue. Baker to Hind to Andy Adamazapati. Back to Hind, who ran to 55. Sent the ball forward over there to force it. Who's at the back? Guess who? Johnson squared the ball. Look out through the hands of Hatchett. Could have been pushed. Umpire said yes. And Hatchett will have a shot on goal from point blank range. Gee, that was, and I hate to use the word
great
tsunami, but that was
great ball movement out of the centre.
That was some of the best ball movement from the Devils. I mean, Joe Carmody can't believe it, but
so clean out of the centre there, the Devils.
So Hatcher just chips it over to the top, and Darley get their 6th unanswered for the term. Wow, it's been pretty impressive. Second term, 6 unanswered.
When you're moving the ball like that, and then your forwards are working as hard as they can, like they are at the moment, Darley. Once the ball comes in the forward line, it makes for good footy, and they've really capitalised on their opportunities. Build up a great 35-point lead here, Darley.
Back at the restart here. It's been a Devils blitz in the second term. Tap one by Hobie. Ground ball opportunity. Here for the Kangas was kind of a loose release. Van Meel under the pump. Pressure good from the Devils. Johnson over the ball. Would have been a jump ball in basketball. Your caper there, Macca, but we'll get a ball up in this case. Ball up. Van Meel over the top. Tap meant for Matty Johnson. Found him in the end. Not preferred. Hurried kick out of the stoppage. Only went as far as Myers. Just got all the answers at the moment, Darley. Right foot kick, went lateral, came broadcast side. And the game's just made so much easier by the efficiency by foot. So the kick from Matthew Brett goes out in the Jack Bewley direction. Merritt got the spoil. And a good disciplined tackle there from Brodie Ward not to get into the back of Canning. And we'll get a ball up on centre wing broadcast side.
Really relies on his size at the contest, Hovey. He's got no real leap to speak of or anything like that. It's just a battle of wills there.
Van Meel with his second attempt, knocked the ball forward. Good pressure there from Adamazapati. Devils wanting holding the ball, but right call there from the umpire. Darley lead by 35 points. Tap one by Hovey, only as far as Hucker. Tie up and under territory game. Bit of perceived pressure on that kick. Chance for White. Knocked it back favourably towards Brett Bewley. They got it to Cousins. So a couple of the big gun left footers combined and the kick to outer centre wing. Johnson pushed right up and got Brown to go with him. Now can they get the ball moving, the Devils? They haven't got huge numbers in front of the ball. Such was the speed of ball movement there. So he finds Adamazapati through the traffic. That was a terrific kick. Running bounce taken there by Cadman. That was Adamazapati out in the direction of Hind. Got it.
Just too easy. Just under no pressure there at all, Darley, to bring that football into the 50. And Hind used every bit of his experience and strength there to body out his opponent. And now he's looking at a very gettable shot at goal to bring up Darley's 7th for the quarter, if he can.
Yeah, and stocks in the BHB will rise as he will join Brett Bewley and Luther Baker on the goal front if he can slot this one through. So the former Bomber, who averages 35 disposals a game, slots a goal for the Devils, and the margin extends. Gee, externally, if you were just keeping an eye on the Play HQ scores, you'd be suggesting Darley were kicking with a breeze, but it's not actually the case here.
No.
They're just giving each point a right old smacking in this second term.
I think something that's working really well for Darley and their forward line too is the isolation of the East Point defenders, Todd. There's no coming out, third man coming over the top, zoning off their man or anything like that. There's real isolation and good running patterns in the forward line for Darley, and that's really helping them, I think.
And the gulf in separation of efficiency by hand and by foot today has been really telling. And their shooting on goal. So Hovey with that tap. Geordie Johnson knocked it forward. Now McDougall's pushed off half forward. Got a clean gather, but couldn't release the vice-like grip of the Darley midfield. A ball up. Tap won by Hovey. Johnson, pressure, was good at the back from Hind. Oh, pinged. I'm not sure he had a great deal of pride there, Matty Johnson.
Yeah, geez, he pinned him straight away, didn't he?
But it's a game of momentum, and it's all with Darley, and Matty Johnson just threw that ball back sort of in a 50-50 speed there, Macca, and key word in there, 50.
Yeah, I think he put a bit of mayo on it there, Hindy. Geez, have a look at that again.
And Duncan Cadman out in front of Bryn Johnson.
There is just no contest there at all from an East Point player.
So he gave it to Myers. Don't get beat with what you know. 2 from 2 off half back for Myers. We've seen it. And we've seen it again, Macca. Yep. Copy, paste.
You just got to be alert. Like, you're playing senior footy here. You've got to be alert to what the opposition is doing. And if Myers run that far, well, where's his opponent running with him?
Yeah, well,
to stop that.
Yeah. Just momentum with the Devils here at the moment at Darley Park. They lead by 47 points. After they lead by 2 at quarter time. Ball up. Loose ball. Baker. Hind. Here they go again, the Devils. Joel Cadman. High kick. In the Edwards direction. Has it knocked away from him. Good spoil by Howard. Johnson got the ground ball and it was caught high there by Edwards. Geordie Johnson, he just bowled his Darley man over there in Hatcher. And he went down like a domino. Loose ball opportunity here for Willems, who got it over the top to Brown. Normally good by foot, sold the dummy. And
was a bit of a late tackle there from Joel Cadman.
Yeah, I was just looking further afield there and had to come back to check in on...
He did already have him and then put him towards the ground. He was a bit late.
So the free kick will come back to Brown. Should have been downfield then.
Yeah, and it is moving forward now.
Yeah. So Willems with ball in hand.
Maybe that's his little payback for Geordie Johnson having a crack at young Hatcher.
So, but that wasn't as funny as that. So Brown has the ball back in his hands. So whatever territory gain was given back to Brown. And the kick goes to half forward. 3 Devils fly. And it's Hovey who takes the contested mark. So he goes backwards to Myers, who's had plenty of it today. And he'll go along the line towards Cadman. Duncan Cadman. And it knocked away from him. It's a hot footy at the moment. Pressure good from both sides. Feelings gone up. Not dissimilar to what it did prior to the halftime siren in that prelim final, Macca.
He's tried to break a few tackles there, Matty Johnson. Starting to get frustrated, both Matty and Geordie Johnson, not getting things their own way.
As he did in the prelim. But you know what happened after half-time in that prelim? They just went to another level, East Point. Questions will be asked again of them today. Cadman along the line to a 2-on-1. Went to brother Joel. Brett somehow kept it alive. No, he didn't. And the boundary umpire denying Bewley. Right in the perfect spot there.
Well, they're going to need every one of those plus 115 points that they have in their third quarters, East Point. They're both Darley and East Point. Their third quarters are their best quarters so far this season, so they're going to need every bit of that if they're going to get back into this game.
Boundary throw in. It'll be Hovey and Van Meels. That one by Hovey. Rodamarone's got a bad bounce. Matty Johnson threw it away. Umpire called play on. Fell back into his lap. Fed the ball out to brother Geordie. And he's tackled, taken to the ground. Gee, the pressure's been good from the Devils as well today.
And Hines led the way a lot of occasions too, boys. Just that low centre of gravity, and he just really wraps them up.
Ball up. Right in front of us here, Van Meel will find the boundary line. Players, one and all, get a chance to take a breath. Quite a despondent-looking East Point bench at the moment. They're on edge. Near full strength, East Point today. Ball in. Tap one by, well, call it even. Kenny. That's a timely siren for the Kangas. And they get a spell from that Devils avalanche second term when they booted 8 unanswered goals for the term. 8 straight, if you don't mind, Macca. 13-3, 81. That's right. Darley lead East Point 5-4-34. It's a 47-point job lead for the Devils at half-time.
Goal kickers here, Todd. Two to Myers, 2 to Joel Cabman and 2 to Brett Bewley. 1 each to Hind, Hatcher, Andy Azzopardi, Luther Baker, Joel Cabman. No, Joel Cabman's got 2 actually as well. Then Johnson and Duncan Cabman and Edwards. So held goalless in that quarter, East Point by Darley. Terrific quarter of footy, and they've really set themselves up for a big third quarter.
So we'll just update the Play HQ and get you some scores from around the grounds here in BFNL round 9 action. Sunbury 12-6-78, lead back as far as 6-2-38. So a 40-point lead to Sunbury at half-time. Sebastopol 2-4-16, trail North Ballarat 6-2-38. 22-point lead to the Roosters. Lake Windaree 4-3-27, trail Redan 7-4-46. And Ballarat at home today against the reigning Premier. They're 1-6-12. They trailed Melton 7-3-45. But the biggest separation across the BFNL round 9 football at the half is this one going on right here. Who would have thought after the Devils led by 2 points at quarter time, they now lead by 47. A break and back with the second half action. It's both teams' best quarter. Of course, Each Point are 8-0 for third quarters. The Devils 7-1. We look forward to you rejoining us in around 10 minutes' time.
A yawn. It's the body letting you know you can't go on without the delicious, rich new blend from McCafe. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to Darley Park ahead of the second half action here in BFNL's match of the round 9. Darley lead by 47 points in arguably their best quarter under Dan Jordan in his 4-year tenure. Tap one by Hovey. Only as far as Merritt, who tumbles the ball onto the boot, but it's cut off there by Myers, who's had a terrific game. Right foot kick. Found Cadman. Can go along the line to Inglis. And Bryn Thompson got a timely fist on the ball to the safety of the boundary line. Yeah, a few despondent East Point fans here, trailing by 47. A few of them even opting to just look at the race results to take the mind off things, Magga. Boundary throw in. Tap one by Hovey, who's been competitive in the absence of Impey today. Lavery, territory gain, did enough to get the journey. To Canny, who went short. That went a metre. To Jones. And Hovey quite happy just to stand still there for a bit. Nothing really bothers that man too much. Cousins, second attempt, good. So Cousins is an important cog in this Darley team, and he found Matthew Brett. Speaking of important cogs, we'll go short to Myers. Each Point just not giving him enough respect. He's been arguably Darley's best behind BHB boys. Here's Matthew Brett again. Look at that for a kick. Made it look easier than what it was, and they're away here, the Devils. Andy has a party. Over towards Duncan Cadman. Kept it in front of him. Pursuant there was Hamish Thompson. Did well, went to ground. Can he hold it up? He did well to square away a stoppage there.
He's had a new lease of life up forward, Duncan Cadman, hasn't he? With the, the change in the back line, and he's can play that little bit more freer footy than what he had previously.
Yeah, he wouldn't know himself up there. Ball up. Loose ball opportunity here for Hucker. Tumbling hand pass was enough. Got it to Jones through traffic. Fed the hand pass out to Kenny. Got it to Rodamaronis. Now this is better from East Point. Now they try and square it to the hot spot. Gathered by Geordie Johnson. Now this is better from East Point. And they get it over the top. How will it sit for Mole? And ball runs away from him. Could have caught one high there from Myers. Now he's under the pump. They'll square away a stoppage. Cousins and Myers, the pursuance on Molan, who was disappointed clearly not to be awarded a free kick. A little unlucky as he's opposing number 10. Myers may well have infringed on that occasion, but lucky to get away with it. Tap one by Van Meel. McDougall. Oh, ricochet ball just off the hand of Joel Cadman. Goalkeeper style, just stuck out the left mitt. That'll be Billy Myers with ball in hand. He's well on his way to surpassing his disposal average per game this year of 28. Of course, Bewley, Hind and Baker average 100 between them a week. Bewley 39, Hind 35, Baker 26. Now Crawford got it to Bewley, who found Cousins. So the two lefties combine, and he hugs the rail with the kick out to another lefty there in Edwards, who goes along the line, presenting. Well, that was good. That was a good lead-up bit of play there from Andy Az, a party. They are having a party out there at the moment too, the Devils. Joel Cadman, just a little sloppy there was Andy has a party with that kick, made it difficult for Cadman, but Crawford was up the task. Got it back to Andy. Dumped as he kicked there by Thompson. Momentum of the ball went to the right. Baker through traffic, missed the target. And just a bit of scrappy play going on in these opening minutes as East Point endeavoured a challenge through Rodamaronis, who fed the ball out. Chance there for Matty Johnson, who chipped and found Geordie Johnson. Puts it out in front of McDougall. Matty Brett will concede that. Doesn't hurt too much, so McDougall will tip it over the top to Matty Johnson. Right foot kick into the pocket. Van Meel has it knocked away from him there by Myers in the bright sunshine here at Darley Park. So both sides feeling their way through the early minutes of this third term as East Point endeavour to mount a challenge and get some work into this deficit that is currently 46. Matthew Brett tackled there by Matty Johnson. A couple of players who love to play on the edge, those two. They both get up off the ground. Oh, you've got to love the competitive nature of those two. Ball up. Matthew Brett won the tap. Boundary side. Johnson just held up there by Bewley. And we'll get a boundary throw in 25 metres around from the East Point goal. First goal all important for the Kangas. They need a smile. That will come with a goal, you would assume. Now, Baker took on the tackle. Matty Johnson, clearly frustrated there, the reigning Henderson medalist, as he's opposing number 7 was forgiven by the umpire in a form of a stoppage. Tap one by Brett, Rodamaronis, ground level ball, so good at this. Now goes with the outside of the right boot. Was hopeful rather than anything else in the end. Darcy Matricati did well not to infringe there. McDougall went back there by hand. Merritt, quick hands. Got it over towards Thompson. Tumbling kick forward. Jeffrey on the second attempt. Rove there by McDougall. Dangerous around goal. Oh, Johnson somehow did enough to get it through off the bottom of his boot.
I don't know why he didn't just mark the footy, Todd.
Well,
boy,
it's been the story of, the last quarter and a bit, though. They've just made everything look difficult, East Point, but they've managed to get it done. And they've got a goal back. Never right off the quality of the Kangas. Margin back to 40, and it breaks a run of 8 consecutive goals to the Devils since quarter time.
really had to work hard for it there, but got the desired result in the end.
A terrific winter's day for footy. No breeze really to speak of. Baker taken to the ground by Rodamaronis. Hobie, clever tap meant for Jack Bewley. Only found merit in the end. He got it to Matty Johnson, who's up and about, and he's up for the challenge. And he fired the hand pass out to Jeffrey, who weighs up the options and went direct. Now this is dangerous. Johnson had a bit of it, denied by the umpire. Chance for Baker through traffic. That's a terrific kick to Joel Cabot. He get it over the top to Bewley. Speaking of Brett on this occasion, he'll lope onto the left boot. Dumped as he kicked there by Brown. Clever little tap on there from Gardner. Jack Bewley was up to the task. Checked back inside and fired the kick towards the attacking 50. Loose ball opportunity here for Jeffrey. He gathered, fired over the top, put Matty Johnson under the pump. Follow-up work was okay. Now ball went to ground and we'll get a stoppage here. A scrappy little play, bit of play in the last minute or so.
Didn't really make the most of that that kick from Jack Bewley East. You know, like if you're going to kick the ball there, hit a target, but just couldn't execute from it.
Ovey has the gather from Hind. Fed the ball out to Bewley. Gathered on the half volley at ankle level. Not many people could do that. Pressure was good there from Brown. Oh, we'll get a free kick there against Hatcho. Waste no time. Tumbling but effective kick to half-back was okay to Matty Johnson. He's been their leading disposal winner and he's just disappointed. He's got nothing forward, so he went lateral back to Brown. So two of the big names of East Point combined. To no real great effect as they forced the chip it over the top to Hucker, who was up to the task. Cadman was hunting the prey in Hucker, but Hucker was up to the task. So just along the line they go. Cousins, Hobie, neither could mark the ball. Cairns, clean gather. Was denied there by Brodie Ward. We'll get a ball up.
They're holding them up well. They're the Devils, just defensively. Just no options there for East at all, so just got to kick long as well.
Hobie, Van Neal, Brett Bewley took on the tackler of right. Lucky to get away with that. Cairns, quick hands, got it over there towards Willems, who sent it forward. Myers had to gather and sent it back to Brett Bewley. So it's been a bit of a scrappy 7 minutes. Look at that for a kick. So you travel from Alexandra, as a friend of ours has, to just watch that as he found Matthew Brett. He got it to Matricard. He's got a paddock. Took a running bounce and another. Drew the man. Now got it over the top. And he has a party. Fed the ball by hand. They're not out of trouble yet. East Point, Duncan Cadman. Hand pass went in board looking for Hatcher, but it was turned over by Brown. Went towards half forward. Hamilton set up for Geordie Johnson. Hovey, the pursuant, knocked him off the ball, the big fella. That was very well done. Take a bow. Cousins to Brett. Got it over towards Crawford. He's got Myers on his outside. Could have gone to him, but he said he sat it up there for Joel Cadman, who's been busy in the last couple of quarters. He wheeled around and went into the pocket. How about that for a kick? Nick Hind got on the end of it, 50 metres out from goal.
Did extremely well in that contest, Hovey.
Lower the eyes and hit up the target. Enforcer who presented and didn't let Hind down. They'll go back and have a shot on goal here. And a chance to square away that Geordie Johnson goal from minutes ago. And extend on this 40-point lead here at Darley Park. So, force it. Will shoot for goal. And he doesn't let the Devils camp down. And the finish was a representation of the efficiency being shown for the most part of the afternoon by the Devils, and Fawcett gets it done.
Yeah, executed well there, Todd. And, you know, when you look at the accuracy of the kicking, 14-3, and they are the number one goal-kicking team for accuracy in the league, Darley. And, you know, good, as the saying goes, good kicking's good footy, and they've certainly shown that this afternoon, you know, 14-3 to 6-5. So, you know, that tells the story, in my opinion, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed. So Darley just lost the third quarter for the year. East Point unbeaten in their third terms in season 2025. Loose ball opportunity for Matty Johnson at the restart. Couldn't gather, went to ground. Bewley lost his footing, fired the hand pass out, meant for brother Jack. Dispossessed through weight of numbers. Wright gets on the end of it for the Kangas. Fired the hair pass out to Willems. Awkward looking kick. Bouncing ball. Gather was good there from Myers. Took on the tackle of Wright. Gave him the don't argue. Got away with it. Now Ward. Now the vision was composed and the kick was excellent. And he found Matricard. He's got White on his outside. Could have just gone there. He can still go there, and now he will. He can get it over to Cousins if he likes. Matthew Brett presents laterally. So he'll go onto that left boot and go to outer centre wing. Nice body work there by Jack Bewley. Just outpointed Q on that occasion. He wasted no time. Goes in the direction of Edwards, overcooked the kick, and it was cut off there by Howard. So on the defensive 50. He'll stay on that outer side. Kick was okay to Jones. Looks to square the footy to an unmarked Geordie Johnson. Right in the middle of the ground here. He goes in the McDougall direction, bounced off his chest, set up for him, he's got time, went inside out on Brett a couple of times, good corralling there from Brett, but McDougall gets the kick across the body, little push, not seen by the umpire, and Rodamaronis, much to the disappointment of Gardner, who probably just overcommitted with his momentum forward, made it easy for Rodamaronis just to help him on his way, and he took an uncontested mark in the end. He'll go back and have a shot on goal.
Yeah, he probably wasn't deep enough there, the umpire, I didn't think, to sort of be able to see that at a true angle, but yeah, just used his strength there, Rodamaronis, didn't he, as he's done on so many occasions.
So it'll be Rodamaronis, who missed his last set shot on goal in that first term. He should eat this one up. Oh, he's hit the post. It just typifies the last 45 minutes of play for East Point.
It's a bad mess.
6-6-42. So 12 scoring shots to 17. You wouldn't imagine that would equate to 45 points. But Myers brings the ball back into play to Ward. How about the kick?
I just cannot believe the ease with which that kick was executed to allow Brodie Ward to take the mark like that uncontested.
And Ward went to Hatcher.
And I know it's his own defence, but, I mean, the purpose is to keep the ball in your half, isn't it?
And he has a party, very difficult for Cadman. Got it on the half volley, so he gave it back to Adam as a party. The Joel Cadman to Brodie Ward, who's been efficient today by foot. I went a bit early. Nearly a turnover opportunity for Jones. White was ferocious, went to ground. And we'll get a stoppage here.
Just mozzed him there, Toddy.
14-3-87, Darley lead East Point 6-6-42.
Yeah, commentator's curse.
Yeah, well, he hits half a dozen targets in a row there,
yes,
Brodie, with his left boot.
He's a beautiful left foot kick.
All up, tap one by Edwards. Kick out of the congestion, high up and under from Matty Johnson. Good use of the body there by White on Rodamaronis. We'll call it even. Ground ball opportunity. Socket off the ground there by Molan. Good work there by a couple of the youngsters there in Gardner, who got it to Joel Cadman, who put it out in front of Bewley, got a bad bounce, went back through the tackle of Willems, found Baker, he's on his left, he can go wide, that was good vision, found Hatcher, he can get over the top to Edwards quickly if he wants, but he'll go back and square the kick to Adam as a party, who's been the conduit through the mid part of the ground, who went to Gardner, out wide in the direction there of Johnson, who was tackled, taken on the ground. And we'll get a ball up here, 40 metres away from the Darley goal. Now it's East Point's turn to cop the defensive pressure. Johnson through traffic, holding the ball. Good tackle there from Molan. Gee, was nearly away there, Johnson. He just couldn't gain control of the ball. So he'll just chip it sideways. Kick was okay to Romerell, who went to Merritt. So right foot kick to centre wing at the back, Crawford. Thread it well. And he'll switch play. See, they're playing with some confidence and some dare, the Devils. It's Myers. Went inboard to Inglis. He could give it back to Myers, but he went with a wider option. So Myers continues to run and present. Darcy Matricati held up there by the youngster there in right. Did well. So he'll go back to Matthew Brett, who's unmanned on half back, and just puts the kick out wide towards Crawford. Now Cousins presents over the top here. He can get it to him effectively, and he does.
Cadman all on his own. Have a look at this.
Well, they've created the overlap here, the Devils, through Duncan Cabin, who went to White. Left foot kick there into the danger zone. Look out. Early fly force at ground ball. Cross the body with the left foot. It's just missed to the near side for a minor score.
Well, the accountability of the East Point defence at times, for a player to get that amount of space.
So Merritt brings the ball back into play. Found Matty Johnson. So the two big guns combined. He went lateral to Romerell, who was off. Forced to release by hand. Bouncing ball direction at Jeffrey. Had to stop, prop. Went back towards, might have been Romerell, was it? And he found, that was Willems, in fact, who got it to Jeffrey. Went forward to McDougall. Gee, a couple of those East Point blokes going to the same barber at the moment there, Macca, and when they're running towards you, and such is the similarity of their body profiles. Yeah. It does make it difficult on occasions, but McDougall with ball in hand here. Chance to get a pulse into East Point's chances as we near the 17-minute mark of this third term. So McDougall, 45-degree angle. Normally a good shot on goal. This one's going to go across the face, and Myers, unattended on the last line.
Wow.
Took a mark and just played on and just chipped it over the top as if they were at training.
Can you believe there's no one anywhere near the goal line there to even contest that ball coming in?
So Darcy Matricati switches the ball back to Cousins. He's got a couple of options. And then looks to square the ball to Johnson, who's pushed up to the defensive 50. He's off on his bike. Right foot kick out in the direction of Jack Bewley. Coming off the back, solidly met there by Brown. The courage was good from both players. Well done. Jack Bewley, a little gingerly getting to his feet, but that was true courage and solidly met there by Brown, who did everything legal. Good footy all round. Commitment, unquestionable. And Darley had a couple of players that went up in the ruck there. I think that's what that infringement was. Yep. So Van Meel went the Jeffrey direction. Good spoil on the ball there from Myers. Seen over the line for a boundary throw-in. So
killed that contest very well there, Myers, with that spoil.
So just the two goals booted in this third term, a goal apiece. And we've been playing near 18 minutes on the back of, an 18-goal blitz in the opening half collectively. 13 of those to the Devils. Sting seemingly gone out of the game momentarily as the last roll of the dice to East Point transpires. Johnson has worked really hard in this third term. Speak of Matty, we'll get a ball up on half forward here for the Kangas. So can they get a goal for their reward for effort in this third term? Matricati took on the tackle. And we'll get another ball up, and even when state play stops, the ball ends up in Hines' hands. So it'll be Hovey, Van Meel. Give that one to Van Meel. Bewley somehow got it to Hind, who got it to Myers. Kick across the body. Didn't go the required, but the umpire paid the mark. Johnson, spearing kick meant for brother Geordie. Clean gather there from Myers. Got it to White, in fact. And Hind just ran out of territory. We'll get a boundary throwing. So this is more like BFNL standard, this third term, Macca.
Just Brett Bewley's ability when he's got players hanging off him to still adequately dispose of the footy is terrific.
The Cousins all over Geordie Johnson, trying to get a bit of a chop out there from Cairns. So we'll get a boundary throw in here. Each point into attack. Van Meel in front, won the tap, Dodd, touch of the fumble. Second effort was good though, couldn't get away from the tackle of Cousins. We'll get a ball up 40 metres out. from the East Point goal. All up. Somehow Myers nearly stole it out of the ruck. Cairns could have cut one high. Umpire obscured with the vision. Matty Johnson threw ball on to boot. And it's out of bounds on the full.
Yeah. Oh, it was, boy, that ball was well over the line.
Yeah, well, he must have blinked at that wrong time there, the young boundary umpire.
Interesting to see that replay.
I don't think many will be watching the replay. Boundary throw in here. Matty Brett, Van Meel, call it even, both were holding. Clever tap from Van Meel, but McDougall got a touch of the fumbles. Awkward release by foot. Molan tackled. Good defensive pressure there from the Devils. It's a hot footy at ground level, and they'll square away a stoppage. Gee, they're refusing to concede anything, the Devils' defence. That's why they're the number 1 ranked defence in the comp. Just average 52 points against per game. Van Meel won the tap. But they're up against a formidable offensive team in East Point who average more shots on goal than any other side. Ball up. Hobie went over the back, but only as far as Rodamoronis. Matthew Brett, though, gathered the spoils because Rodamoronis couldn't gather. Look, they've got numbers here, the Devils. They can raffle it. Ward can give it back to Brett, but elects to go with the left boot. Territory gain. East Point leading the race for the ball through Romerall and Merritt. Romerall tackled. Released the ball. Got it to Merritt. Did well. And Merritt found Matty Johnson, who's been the leading possession winner on the ground in this third term. He went short to Dodd. Now they're going into that pocket. Too far out to score. Right foot kick. Marker. Ground ball. Who's doing the sharking? Molan. Bounced off the toe of the footy boot and rolled through for a goal. So a couple of awkward finishes there from East Point, but they'll take them both.
Yep,
2 goals within 2 metres.
Awkward but effective. Well roved off the back of the pack there. Alex Molan just couldn't pick the ball up, but fortunately his feet were in the right position and was able to trickle the ball through.
Darley 14, 488. East Point 7, 648. So outside of that, 8-0 blitz in the second term from the Devils. East Point have outscored them either side of that second term. But it is a 4-quarter game. The Devils deserve their lead. They were at arguably their best I've seen in that second term. Matty Johnson, right foot kick, got it again to Hucker. So Matty Johnson's had double figures in this third term, I'm sure of it. Went short. Kick was okay to Brown. He kicked a goal from about 60 metres out in that first term. Elects to go short on this occasion to Dodd. He's a clever player. Be better for the runners. So many players often are first up after an injury layoff. Now gets to the Geordie Johnson. Got it!
He's so good in the air. So good in the air.
He had his name written all over that from as soon as that ball went in the air. I could just see a couple of Darley defenders under the ball and Johnson rising high to do what Geordie Johnson does. And a chance to kick East Point's third goal of the term and narrow the margin back to 34. Shouldn't miss from here. Directly in front. Makes no mistake. And a pulse for the Kangas.
I did highlight that matchup. Whilst the matchup itself is, is pretty good. You've often got to get that matchup on your terms, and I just don't know sort of when the ball's kicked high in the air unless he's got teammates zoning off to help him, Mace Cousins, that he's going to be able to go with Geordie Johnson in the air. He is very, very strong in aerial contests.
Yeah, they loved him down at Geelong. He just wanted to come back and play with his mates, and that's what he's doing today. Update in scores around the BFNL this afternoon as the ball makes its way back to the middle of the ground. Sunbury 85, Bacchus Marsh 46, Sebastopol 22, Ballarat 50, Lake Windermere 40, Redan 54, Ballarat 32, Melton 52. Back at the restart. 3-1 in this term in favour of the Kangas. Margin 34 points. Now Baker out of the middle to Johnson. Render 49. Can he get the response? He's off to the right. Through for a minor score.
Another good clearance though from the Devils. Clean possession out of the centre.
Yeah, well, that cleanliness has seemingly sort of deserted them for the most part of this third term. They were just in rare air in that second quarter. They bring the ball back into play through Matty Johnson again. Who went short to Jones, who can just chip it over the top to Merritt. There's no real urgency. Maybe that's the accountability of the Devils in front of the Kangas as they go back to Thompson. So he gets a good territory gain to Romeril. Just had to stop and prop and wait under it and was effective. Got it over the top to Brown. He's got Huck up. Kick let him down. Bewley got a hand on it. Knocked it back in the direction of Brett Bewley. Shoveled it out. Good follow up there. Run by Brown. Took on one. Too many tackles. Released the ball to Rodamaronis. They're out here. Hucker. Right foot kick. McDougall and Brett. McDougall!
It's a good mark from Bryson
He's a
McDougall.
good player.
It's a very good mark from Bryson McDougall when considering Matty Brett came back and applied some physical pressure to him. He was able to stand his ground and keep his eye on the footy and mark it. And this will give them a little bit of momentum, East Point, coming into three-quarter time break.
So McDougall, for a fourth of the term for the Kangas, delivers and gets it done. Each point are coming. They're within 29. They trail by as much as 47 at one stage. It's down to 29, 9-6-60. They trail Darley 14-5-89. And they've run in wins in third terms. Looks like they're going to remain unbeaten in this quarter in isolation for the season to date. So McDougall with 3 goals. Geordie Johnson with 3 goals. The leading goal scorers for East Point at the moment. A couple of multiples for the Devils. Brett Bewley, Joel Cadman and Billy Myers. 29-point ball game, BFNL's match of the round. 27 minutes gone, third term. Game on here. Tap one by Hovey. Matty Johnson been super in this third term. Brett Bewley shoveled it out. Jack Bewley came off the wing. The gather was clean, but the pressure was good. And the intent of East Point certainly gone up a notch. All up. Tap one by Hovey, who's at ground level. Second tap there from Van Meel. Merritt bounced off his chest. Shark there by his opposing one in Hine. Stab pass. Went out wide in the direction of Adam Azzopardi. Gathered. Got around. Q. Sent the ball forward. Squaring onto that. There'll be a turnover. And Brown. He looks to play on. Lowered the eyes. Kick was good. Threaded the needle. Found Lavery. Right in the middle of 4 Darley players. He looks to play on now. Awkward kick. Hopeful rather than anything else in the end. Myers had to wait under it, just pushed off Geordie Johnson, forced to release by boot. Everything that Myers has touched today has turned to gold as he found Gardner somehow, who got it to Inglis, indecisive through the middle of the ground, elects to go direct. Guess who? Brown again. Intercept mark behind the ball. So the composure of the Devils in this third term, maybe due to some of the pressure that's come from East Point, has been found wanting. Foot race on here. Cousins, normally clever. Tackle taken to the ground there by Johnson. Loose ball gathered there from Rodamaronis. Got it over the top at Jeffrey. McDougall, clever little socket to his own advantage. Shipped it up to Cairns. Didn't go the required. But can he get the finish? No, it's off to the right through for a minor score.
Smart bit of soccer skill there from McDougall. Nearly resulted in a goal there to Cairns. It's a good bit of play from the big fella.
Darley lead by 28 points. 19 scoring shots to 16. Myers brings the ball back into play. Been highly efficient today. Found Matthew Brett. Edwards presents. He goes wide. The fly was good. Siren sounds for three-quarter time here. They're getting a shot on goal, are they? I thought the siren just went momentarily prior to the dot mark, but we shall wait and see.
Yeah, they've played at a mark, Todd.
They played at the mark. So that quarter went 29 minutes and 7 seconds, and Joe Dodd marked it 29 minutes and 10 seconds. But that's okay. We'll get a shot on goal here from Dodd. Gee, this will test him. But what a team lift it'll be for the Kangas to get him within 22. Kicks on its way. Has he got the journey? Touched. Right on the goal line. No score. So, gee, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall at this three-quarter time huddle at both sides as East Point breathe a pulse into this game here at three-quarter time. 9-7-61 they trail Darley, 14-5-89. It's a 28-point ball game in favour of the Devils, who once led by 47. Mackie, you've got the goal scorers.
Yeah, I have, Todd. So for Darley, multiple goal kickers: Myers, Joel Cadman, Brett Bewley. Singles to Fawcett, Hind, Andy Azzopardi, Luther Baker, Duncan Cadman, Edwards and Will Johnson. And for East, McDougall has got 3. Geordie Johnson also has 3, kicked a couple in that quarter. Molan's got 2. And then singles to single to Brown as well.
Yeah, so if not for that rare air second turn that Darley were in, it was just a timely reminder for the Devils in that third term that these big games, they're all hard to win, and East Point were never going to throw in the towel, and they booted 4-1 in that term to narrow the margin to 28 at the final break. Quick score from around the grounds before a final break ahead of the final quarter action. So stick with us. East Point still in with a chance. They trail by 28. In other games, Sunbury lead Bacchus by 33. North Ballarat lead Sebastopol by 28. Redan lead Lake Windaree by 13. And Melton lead Ballarat by 20. But here it's the Devils by 28. A break and back with the final quarter action in 5 minutes' time.
A yawn. It's the body letting you know you can't go on without the delicious, rich new blend from McCafe. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back here to Darley Park ahead of the final quarter action in BFNL's match of the round. This round 9 fixture. It's 1v2. Darley lead by 28 points after they led by as much as 47. Each point not giving up the task. Loose ball, important centre clearance. Chance here for Rodamaronis. Release the ball. Able to sit up. Well, it did for Thompson. Wanted the hold denied. Oh, get it in the end. Yeah. So Thompson with ball in hand. All important. First forward thrust here from the Kangas, who won that third term 4 goals to 1. Shallow entry inside 50. Geordie Johnson is going to get a free kick here. It's going to go against Cousins for a push. After that mark was seemingly taken there by Myers. Cousins had infringed. Gee, it's getting dark here at Darley Park. Devils lead by 28. And a goal here to Geordie Johnson will mean 5 of the last 6 for the visitors since half-time. So Geordie Johnson, for goal number 4 of his own, from about 50 metres. Kicks on its way, just off to the left. Gee, that would have been the ideal start backer for the Kangas inside a minute.
They would have continued that momentum that they got at the end of the third quarter and would have got them really up and about.
So Darley will be asked to really fight out this game and earn this win. Bewley beyond the defensive 50. Strong overhead grab from Adam Azzopardi. He's important when he's up and about, the youngster. They get the overlap here, the Devils. And the Azzopardi's got a couple to beat. Went to ground, opened the door for Howard. Fed the ball by hand to Jones. Got it to Merritt. Short kick across the body was effective. And found Jeffrey on outside centre wing. So Jeffrey with ball in hand. Sort of bereft of option, as they so often had been today in front of the footy. So they've been forced to chip it around. And Brown's literally got a paddock just to stop and prop and wait for that 45 concede ball. And then weigh up the options and found Canny on the defensive 50 for East Point. So he goes short to another hit-up target there. Thompson. Now he's under the pump. Good pressure from Hovey. And he'll square away a stoppage. So, gee, they went from the half-back on the outer side of the ground there, Mac, at a half-back on broadcast side. So no territory gain for East Point with 7 or 8 disposals in the meantime. Bewley over the footy. Shoveled out there by Hovey to Hind. Could have caught one high umpire called play on. Kenny got it to Thompson. Went to go in ball, but there was no one there, so he went to Jones, who hit up Johnson in the middle of the ground. He's had a good second half. And he'll look for an option deep. He's going to try and get it over there towards Lavery. Foot race on in earnest. How about it sit for Cairns now? Opens the door for Dodd. Myers was clever. He just turned and opened the door for Crawford, who fed it out to Gardner. Dribbling ball out in the direction of Brett Bewley. Went to ground, recovered quickly. But the ball was away from his reach. Gathered by Willems, who went inboard to Rodamaronis. Gather was clean. Sent the ball forward. Players set themselves 2-on-1. And Brett does the safety and knocks it through for a behind.
I don't know about you, Toddy, but I just get the feeling that Darley's intensity's dropped a little bit and their tackling pressure, and East Point is starting to get a bit of a sniff here.
Kick out of defence was good to Andy Azzopardi, who went to Duncan Cadman, who was strong overhead. There was good pressure from Hamish Thompson. Made him earn it, did everything right. So now the Devils seemingly bereft of options. So it goes wide to Johnson, who presents in front of Q, somehow gathered. It was a hot hand pass for Matt Riccardi, who slipped and went to ground. We'll get a stoppage. So 14-5-89 Darley, East Point 9-9-63. We'll get a ball up here on outer side, half forward for East Point. Players set themselves, tap one by Hovey, only as far as Johnson. He got it to Jones, who fed the ball inboard, meant for Rodamaronis or Thompson. The former gathered, released the footy. Adam Azzopardi did well through traffic to somehow get ball to boot in the Edwards direction. He set himself. Brown provided the pressure. Set up okay for Edwards. Hind bereft of option. Left foot kick across the body was clever. As Andy Azzopardi juggling attempt couldn't hang on. Inglis went to ground. Ball went boundary side. The gather was good from Edwards, but he ran out of space over the line for a boundary throw in. 40 metres around from the Darley goal.
I don't think he was all that happy with that last tackling attempt, Nick Hind, with Brown on him. Got him a bit high and had a bit to say to him afterwards.
26-point lead to the Devils. Boundary throw in. Bewley contested that ruck duel, but it was won by Van Meel. Andy has a party squaring kick to the danger zone through the hands of Joel Cadman. The dangerous Johnson across the body. He gets some leverage for the Devils. Quality finish.
That's a good goal to snap that back from that sort of angle, Todd, isn't it?
Yeah, player in form. And just some breathing space for the Devils. They've waited a while for some, arguably since half-time, really, because East Point kicked 4 of the next 5 goals. And Darley with a steadier. They're 15-5-95. East Point 9-9-63. Johnson gets his second of the afternoon, Macca.
Correct.
So he joins 3 other Darley players on 2 goals. Brett Bewley, Joel Cadman and Billy Myers. 15-5, yep. Reward for accuracy on goal. East Point 9-9. Near 6 minutes gone in this final term here at Darley Park.
Have to turn the lights on soon here, I think.
We're not talking about the ones in the cars. Ball up. It'll be Van Meel. About a good duel, he and Hovey. Gee, as the party came off half back, was met solidly. Ground ball opportunity for Hovey. Couldn't quite pick it up. Second effort was good there from Andy as a party to recover after that bump. And
having a bit to say, Johnson.
A bit of toing and froing. Bewley won the tap, only as far as merit. He gathered cleanly, got a good territory gain. Gardner read it well off the boot. Now this is where the Devils are dangerous.
Might need a jumper replacement, Matty Johnson. Walking around like he's a bullfighter. He's got that much slackness in his jumper.
There's the kick from Baker. Got it to Matty Brett. He didn't have to break stride. He went over the top to Hatcher. Now he puts the ball out in the direction of Brett Bewley. Just knocked it away from Merritt, but the umpire paid the mark in the end.
That's a fair enough decision. He had control of the footy.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been like stealing somebody's lunch there, just as you're about to take a bite. Merritt to half-back kick. Just overcooked it there for Willems. Loose ball for Ward. He couldn't gather. Rodemaronis good. Fed it out to Thompson. Good tackling pressure there from Ward. Pinged by the umpire. And the left footer will take the resultant free kick and go short to Baker. He overcooked it. Turnover opportunity. Lavery. Got it to Dodd. Dumped by Baker. Umpire called play on. Hine fed it out cleverly to Joel Cadman. Ran to 55. Got it to the danger spot. Johnson.
That's a beautiful kick from Cadman. Boy, that's a good kick.
That's been the difference between the two sides. The ability for Darley to get it into that hot spot danger area, and 20 metres out from goal, and directly in front.
And a smart kick from Hine too. Didn't sort of just throw it on his boot. Actually kicked a dribble kick between 2 players so the ball could get to Joel Cadman in the first place. And for them to hit Will Johnson up like that on the lead. Fantastic kicking from Darley.
So Johnson for goal number 3 and the second for him in this final term. He makes it look so easy when he's on, Johnson. He gets his 3rd. And Darley get their 16th. They've brought up the ton. They're 16-5-101. And the lead extends. How much have they got left, East Point?
Well, I thought they were coming back a bit, Todd. You know, they'd really up their intensity and had a bit of a sniff in their tackling pressure. But those last 2 goals will certainly take a bit of wind out of their sails.
East Point 9-9-63. Yeah, the impetus that East Point had through that 3rd term, it was a bit of due to a drop-off of intensity from the Devils, but they seem to have restored that on the back of a chat or a reminder from Dan Jordan at 3/4 time. The ball up, tap there, won by Hovey. I've liked his game. It's really been crash and bash and provided. Van Meel never gives up. Turnover opportunity here is Hind. Kick only went as far as Merritt, who fed the ball out. Molan needed a kind bounce. Now a second attempt, shoveled it out to Jones, who took his eye off the ball. How about the gather from Johnson? Kick was skewed. Ricochet. Brown. Baker. Oh, holding the ball. Gee, Brown was a bit stiff there. And
I think when you're over the footy, though, Todd, you've at least got to make some sort of genuine attempt to get rid of it.
Right, yep.
Dispose of it.
Okay.
And he just basically laid on it, I think.
So Baker goes in the Bewley direction. Off his hand. Jack Bewley. Across the body. Is a good finish. And Jack Bewley hits the scoreboard, and Darley get their third in a row. And the floodgates look like they're opening again towards the Bacchus Marsh end for the Devils.
Yeah, well, they're basically back to where they were at half time. And for all that work to try and catch up, Darley have reset and gone again and making the most of their forward entries.
Well, Darley have kicked 11 goals in 36 minutes to the Bacchus Marsh end. So collectively, the second term and the opening 10 minutes of this final term, it really has been a blitz to the right of screen for the Devils. Margin restored to 44, 17-5, 107. They lead East Point 9-9, 63. Been a hardly fought game nonetheless. Just the efficiency of the Devils and their decision making has been the difference. Now Johnson with the number 32 on now went short to Merritt, who went with the right boot to half forward. Molan waited under it and didn't let the kicker down. Now he looked to square the ball, and that's better. To Cairns. Now it's this kick, and that's a high up and under. Now this is in a danger area, and there's the grab, Geordie Johnson. There's no luck involved in that at all. It's just getting the ball to the right areas.
It's just judgment of the footy.
To create opportunity.
Judgment of the footy and getting in the right position in the contest.
So Geordie Johnson for goal number 4, Macca. And after a miss 7 minutes ago, he has a chance to atone here. And he doesn't let his boys down. Johnson's got 4 here at Darley Park. Margin back to 38. We've been playing 11 and a half minutes into this final term. Well, she can't really make a judgment of the crowd with the camera, given all the support that are out of their cars, sort of behind the camera along the wing. Crowd's been okay, Macca?
Yeah, it's a sizable enough crowd here, Todd, I think, yeah.
For a Ballarat travelling team?
Yeah, for a 1v2 side, a 1v2 game.
Yeah. Of course, the Devils have got Sunbury at Sunbury next week, and then Melton back here at Darley Park in a reunion that you're a part of, Macca, back in 1995.
Yeah, it should be a great day in a couple of weeks. We've got plenty of people coming along, so looking forward to a terrific day. A lot of fishing stories will get told, I think.
More to play out here. This will be all part of another story as Brown is tackled in the mud by Baker. Jack Bewley overran it. Ball got shovelled out there from Molan to Matty Johnson, who sent the ball forward in the Geordie Johnson direction. Myers has gone to him. Johnson fed the ball over the top for McDougall. Cousins with courage. Got the ball mid-air and then took it to ground and did enough to square away a stoppage in another danger area for East Point, some 15 metres out from their goal. Devils by 38, near 13 minutes gone, final term. Tap one by Van Meel. Grand ball opportunity to be a hot one at that. Shoveled out there by Cairns. Only as far as Joel Cadman. Territory gain. Good spoil, important spoil on the ball there by Jones. Gathered by Inglis. Through traffic the Devils went. It was Cousins. Tried to get at the Johnson. Didn't get the journey. Turnover here opportunity though for Duncan Cadman. Loose hand pass meant for Ward. Missed him. Canny took it on the tacklers. And he'll just hold it up and we'll get a ball up on half forward out of side for East Point. All up. Tap one up by Duncan Cadman, who tried to cleverly kick it in the direction of Darcy Matricardi. Found him and had it stolen there by Johnson. They went to find Hucker. He had it knocked away from him. Jeffrey gathered. High up and under kick. Players set themselves. Spoil on the ball there from Myers. Did enough. Right. Attack the footy. Got around Baker. Onto the right boot. Into the Geordie Johnson direction. 1-on-1 with Myers. Call it even. Geordie Johnson went the soccer. And Darcy Matricardi happy to see it through for a rush behind. 10-10, 70 East Point. Trail Darley 17-5, 107. So it'll be the boot, the trusty one at that of Billy Myers to bring the ball back into play. And he's found Rodder Moronis. Turnover opportunity could result in a goal for the Kangas.
Not often something like that happens when he kicks a ball out, but yeah, chance here for East to kick a goal.
So Rodder Moronis has had a couple of shots on goal today. Just kicked a couple of behinds. He's got the The run-up that will see him release the ball by foot from about 50. So he's got plenty on the kick. Has he got enough? Just touched on the line there by Cousins. 10-11, 71 each point. Darley 17-5, 107. So this time Myers goes with a thumping drop punt out in the Johnson direction. Well, he pushed Jones. Did he? No, umpire. Yeah, much to the chagrin of Jones. Johnson took the advantage. Got it to Inglis, who went over the top to Bewley, who wasted no time going towards Edwards. He's got Fawcett over the top if he wants him. He'll look to square the footy out there in towards the Hatcher direction. Howard got a spoil on the ball. Just a moment of indecision, but they kept the ball moving forward there, the Devils, to create, well, some opportunity. Even though that one gone, begging, the kick was sort of in between everything, really. There was 3 or 4 Darley players streaming forward. He's found the boundary line and chasing to the behind post. 36-point lead to the Devils. And they're in attack. They're going to ask questions of the East Point defence as they have done all afternoon. Q will release the ball by foot and get East Point out of trouble momentarily. Went off the hands of McDougall. Gathered there by Gardner. Concedes by hand. Back to Cousins. And went with the outside of the left boot to Baker, who was strong overhead. Took a nice grab. Oh, umpire called play on. And Baker's cramping up now. He's covered a bit of ground today.
Yeah, I noticed he's got a bit of a compression bandage on his calf, Todd. So I wonder if he's carrying a little something there. And when he's come down after that marking contest, he's landed straight on it.
Okay. Watch this space. He's still struggling there, Baker. So Cousins will go back with the 45 to Brett, who found Myers, who went short to Ward. And Baker still in that athletics starting position. Hasn't moved.
He hasn't.
So Inglis with ball in hand.
I'm not seeing a trainer make their way out to him either.
And Matthew Brett will go to the outer side of the ground. He can't move, Baker.
Yeah, he's. I don't think he's in a good way. Yeah, he's no good.
So the ball goes forward there towards Hind. We've got a loose ball opportunity here. Shoveled it out there. Did well there, Canny, to get it to his teammate, but the pressure was good there from Matricati. We get a ball up. And Molan and Matricati squaring away that stoppage.
He's walking now, Luther.
So I think he's just got a bit of a, must be a cramp. Yeah, so he's still sort of dragging that right foot or right leg. Hind through traffic, territory gain. Brown, rare fumble. Jack Bewley, sidestep was good. Second attempt, well, he was tackled. And they're up to it. The Kangas as Merritt went wide towards half forward. Good use of the body there by McDougall. It's going to go against the big fella.
Yep, said he pushed him out.
Matthew Brett with ball in hand will go backwards to Billy Myers. So Myers with the territory gain. Look at that, beautiful. Found Joel Cadman, who can go inboard here to Cousins, who went to White from the side. Merritt provided the aerial. That was a nice mark taken there by White.
Was good mark by the young kid.
So he plays on, went by hand to Joel Cadman. He could have got it over the top to Brody Ward, but with the longer option to Jack Bewley and Fawcett. Fawcett got a bit of it, for it was knocked away from him over the line for a boundary throw-in. 40 metres away from the Darley goal. And Baker doing the right thing, just go and park the vice captain.
Yep.
Just get him on ice. Boundary throw-in. Edwards to do the ruck work. Van Meel fought tirelessly all afternoon. So too is Adam Azzopardi. Shoveled it out to Inglis. Loves a goal. Got around one and then around the body. Bouncing ball. Somehow Johnson ended up with it. Don't tell me. He's done it.
He loves kicking a snap, doesn't he?
Straight to the highlights reel. Johnson again.
He loves kicking
to be a fair package. Fair package come the end of the home and away season.
3 for the quarter.
And 4 for the match.
Yep.
And the East Point supporters just getting a little bit confused with how to process that. And you can't blame them, really. I mean, it's just rare goal awareness.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you only have to see the beautiful goal that he kicked at Mars Stadium against North Ballarat the other week from a very tight angle. And, he's just very deliberate when he's doing it, as well, I'm going to have a crack and I'm going to kick this goal here.
Yeah. The look of shock not only on the North Ballarat defender, but the goal umpire was something to behold. At the restart now, Hind will steal this and send it forward. Edwards, he had a bit of it. Howard was tried hard all day. Inglis, ground level, kept fighting, missed the target, meant for Fawcett. Chance for Howard again. Knocked off the ball, chance for Hucker. Inboard by hand, found Johnson. Speak of Matty. That space went in the middle of 3 players, but Thompson did well to gather cleanly. Knocked it to the advantage of Molan, who took them on. Went back looking for Hucker. Just bit off more than they could chew there. Ball gets fed out. Devils have got numbers. And they'll somehow get it out to Gardner with a high up and under kick. Jack Bewley and Jones. Bewley nearly an outfield catch. Jones tackle taken on the ground by Hind and pinged by the umpire. And it'll be Nick Hind with ball in hand. Devils lead by 42 points. Hind's been very good. He went short. The kick was okay to Crawford. To Duncan Cadman. Playing with the freedom as a forward. He goes into the direction of Edwards. Well, I'm not sure how long you have to hang on to it for, Macca.
He didn't take that, Todd.
No?
No. When the ball came down, it hit the ground.
Oh.
And he's picked it up. Yep.
Right. All up. Devils into attack here. Van Meal tapped it cleverly to Matty Johnson. Got away from stoppage by hand to Rodder Moronis, who got it over the top. Gardner did well to keep his feet. Just outpointed Dodd just physically on that occasion. So Dodd went to ground. Crawford got the ground ball. Hind. That'll be unrealistic.
Block out of the marking contest there.
Oh, well, 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other. Could have gone either way. So Hind with ball in hand. And he runs to 50. Set sail. This will bring the house down. Force it. Just bounced off his, breast, really, in the end. Chest. And through for a rush behind, a minor score. So, another behind. So, Merritt combines with Jones, who goes to the outer side of the ground. And he's obviously read the Billy Myers manual there. That was a terrific kick to Thompson. Right foot kick along the line. Cairns kept his feet and ran away. That was good play by the youngster. Right foot kick inside 50. McDougall had a couple to beat. Crawford went to ground. Knocked it to the support in Myers. Tired bend. Finally gathered. Now weigh up the options. And his foot, he's been just so good today to White, who just tipped it over the top to Cousins. He'll again be better for the run. Tipped it over the top to Andy as a party. So a few links in the chain. He went back to Cousins. Cleverly over the top to Hatcher. And now he needs to weigh up the option. Tells him to come toward him. Duncan Cadman. He got the feed back to Hatcher with the sidestep, the youngster. And went into attack. Johnson in a one-on-one and it knocked away from him. Chance for Inglis. Loves a goal. Has he got enough on it? He has.
Oh, there's a roving front and centre masterclass in exactly the right spot from that spoil. No pressure, kicks the goal.
Inglis gets his first of the... He's never out of the game, Inglis. Like, no, just when you think he's been quiet on the goal front, he does a lot of hassling at ground ball. And
he does. He does a lot of stuff that goes unnoticed, and he's a very energetic player who... continues to apply pressure all the time.
Yeah, very important to this Darley make-up. So too, Lee Spiteri not playing today. Borzanla Hooray, Brady Wright, and of course Lucas Impey. But the 22 in front of us, the Devils have a deserved 49-point lead. They've been very good. He certainly came to play, and Matty Johnson will get the free kick here. Now Merritt took the advantage, sent the ball towards half forward, found Jeffrey, who went wide of the pocket looking for McDougall. He never gives up the ghost. His intensity is so good. And it goes for 4 quarters. He just keeps running and running. He's quite the aerobic forward, McDougall. He'll go back and have a shot on goal here. And again, Matthew Brett didn't do much wrong.
No, just used his height and his size there, McDougall, to outpoint Brett. But, at least in that situation, they're kicking the ball to his advantage. Because I don't know that it's happened a lot today.
So it'll be McDougall. From 40 metres out, kicks on its way and off to the right. It's 12th behind of the afternoon. 10-12-72. They trail Darley 19-6, 120, 48-point lead. And there's 50 metres going to come out of that kick in. And it's going to go to Billy Myers. I think the East Point player just didn't stand. Has the kick from Myers, got it to Inglis. They're away here. Back to Inglis, to Hatcher, who's starting to look more comfortable. Has the decision making. Well put, Bewley in the middle of a couple of East Point players, but can he get out of it? The dual Anderson medalist, he can't for the moment. Cairns, Willems, now Dodd through the middle of the ground. Territory gain. Well, just hopeful rather than anything else. Darley got numbers. Myers just smashes it out to outer wing, hoping to sit up for Andy as a party, and it does. He's looking for support, but he doesn't have any. Duncan Cameron provides it in the end. Look out, you're gone. Holding the ball, and a free kick to Geordie Johnson. Jones took the advantage, fired it out wide towards Dodd, who just loped it up over the top, made it difficult for McDougall. Pressure was good from Ward. Ground ball opportunity there for Jeffrey. But, they made a meal of that East Point. We'll get a boundary throw in 40 metres away from their goal. 19-6, 120 Darley. Lead East Point 10-12, 72. 48-point lead to the Devils. Been a highly contested affair here. Throw in. Brown held up there by Myers. So if you took the 8 goals unanswered out of the equation in the second term, Macca would have a draw.
Yeah, but as the old saying goes, footy's a 4-quarter game, and, when you're 1 versus 2, you've got to be on every one of those quarters.
Lavery to Geordie Johnson, and that'll trickle through for another behind. So Johnson's probably kicked 4 goals for today. But Darley lead by 47 points. Matthew Brett with ball in hand. Chip it over the top to Cousins. They're so good by foot, Myers and Brett. Cousins to Cadman. Speak of Joel. Gee, they've been sharing the footy well today. Made it difficult for Crawford, though, because the Geordie Johnson pressure was good. And it finds its way out of bounds after that Crawford handball release. So good pressure there from Geordie Johnson, who's been super since quarter time, really.
Yeah.
Well, the second half especially.
Yeah, very good player.
A boundary throw in here. Time ticking away. 27 minutes gone. 47-point lead to the Devils. Tap one by Lavery. Johnson couldn't gather. Speak of Matty. Could on the second attempt, though. Shovel the ball out. Now Inglis at ground level. Fighting hard for the footy. And we'll get a ball up. Brady Ward, one of those at ground level. Tap. Favoured Canny. Got it to Jones. He sent the ball into attack. Tumbling one at that. Made it difficult for Jeffrey. Cousins was on his hammer. Gather was clean there from Brody Ward. Did well. How was the kick, though? Nearly cut off there by Q. Good pressure there from Hatcher. The support came for the Kangas in the aid of the big man, Van Meal. We'll get a ball up. Hucker, in fact. 28 minutes gone. Final term here at Darley Park. Ball up. Duncan Cadman into the ruck. Gee, can he find a spot on the ground? Brown shoveled it out. Meant for Cairns. Didn't get through the traffic. Opened the door there for Willems. Crawford caught over the footy. And we'll get a ball up. So this game just petering out now, Macca, given the result now. Inevitable.
Yeah. It's a bit like an NBA game where bloke's dribbling the ball and no one's tackling him.
Yep. Well,
the
one thing separate to that is both sides haven't taken their top players off the ground yet. Cairns sent the ball forward. Tack on the good. Footy was good there from Brett. Favoured Baker, who's come back onto the ground. Put it back to Brett, who went wide towards Adam as a party. Wanted the push, denied. Jack Bewley forced to release the ball. Thompson tried hard today. Hucker got it back towards Johnson. Tumbling kick forward towards the attacking 50. Gramble opportunity gathered by Duncan Cadman. Got it to White. Indecisive. Look out. Just shrugged the tackle and tumbled the kick forward. Jack Bewley across the front was good. Needs to release the ball. He did so, but only as far as Jeffrey, who got it back to Hucker, whose squarey kick let him down. And Andy as a party took a mark just above the grass. He played on, ran through the middle of the ground and went direct and long. Johnson in front. Got it knocked away from him. Ground ball opportunity here. East Point under the pump. Fired out by Hind to Edwards. How's the finish? Just off to the right, through for a minor score. 19-7-1-21, Darley. Lead East Point 10-13-73. Well, with all respect to East Point, you know, that second quarter, Darley just went sort of beyond a BFNL level, really, for a 25-minute period. And either side of that, it's been pretty even, but pretty special, that second quarter.
Yeah.
Cousins sends the ball back into attack to Edwards. And all the Devils trying to queue up for one late, but it's Edwards with ball in hand. 30 minutes gone, final term. And they will remain on top of the table in just a couple of minutes' time, and the siren sounds to complete this BFNL match of the round fixture. In a second quarter, Devils blitz that's got it done here. Edwards' kick is good. Icing on the cake. And the margin... $54 points in the end. It ended up a game high, 54 in the end, Backer.
It did.
And comprehensive in the end. Darley, 20 goals, 7. 127. That goal accuracy you touched on was consolidated again today.
Number one in the league for it.
They had 3 more scoring shots than, they had 4 more scoring shots than East Point, and they've won by 57 points. Work that out. 27-1-27. Darley have defeated East Point 10-13-73. But it was really more about where the Devils got their shots on goal. They had it all in those hot spots and danger zones, / whatever, that created a lot of opportunities, and they were very good by foot. And as Joe Carmody, a ripper bloke, makes his way down there to congratulate Dan Jordan on a ripper game of footy. But all honest with the Devils, they've got it done by 54 points. Macca, you got the goal scorers.
Yeah, Toddy, multitude of goal kickers for Darley. Will Johnson headed the pack with 4, including 3 in the last quarter. And then 2 goals each to Edwards, Myers, Joel Cadman and Brett Bewley. Singles to Duncan Cadman, Luther Baker, Andy Azzopardi, Hatcher, Hind, Fawcett, Jack Bewley and Inglis. And for East Point, Geordie Johnson was the leading goal kicker with 4, and also multiples to McDougall with 3, Molan with 2, and Jacob Brown the other single goal kicker.
Guys, we'll just take a look at some scores from around the grounds. And let's just take a look here. Darley have been convincing in the end to win by 54. Sunbury have defeated Bacchus Marsh by 39 points. North Ballarat have defeated Sebastopol by 34 points. Redan have defeated Lake Windaree by 28. And Melton lead Ballarat by 25. And that game's still in play. But all honours with the Devils. They led by 2 points at quarter time, and then an 8-0 blitz that really East Point couldn't have done much about. The ball hardly hit the ground as the Devils went into overdrive, led by the big 4. I'll speak of Bewley, Hind and Baker and Myers, who were all instrumental. Matthew Brett, he fought doggedly in the last line of defence, and again his execution by foot was crucial in transition, but as was Billy Myers, who was arguably the best player on the ground, Macca.
Yeah, they're just too good in their execution, Darley. I mean, once they sort of got ahead, they really put the foot down, and just their ball movement at times, I think, really caught East Point on the hop. And the way they were able to, transition the ball from half-back at one stage there. I think in the first quarter, the ball, 5 consecutive kicks, the ball didn't hit the ground, and it went from half-back, into the forward line and goals were kicked. So Darley's pressure around the football continues to be another feature of their game as well. And then once they're getting the ball back and getting the game on their terms, they're executing their skills well to transition into scoring opportunities. And I think whilst Darley's got their prominent players too, I think East Point probably rely on a too few. With the 2 Johnson boys, probably McDougall, and to a lesser extent
Brown.
Jacob Brown, and maybe even Jackson Merritt. But they're a good side. They'll go back and reset and relaunch again, and I've got no doubt, we'll see them play a prominent part in the finals campaign, but, it certainly wasn't their day today.
Yeah, they won their third term again, obviously unbeaten in third quarters for the year, but Darley won the three surrounding that, but none more impressively than that 8 goals to 8 unanswered in that second term. Honours with Darley here. They're on top of the table at the BFNL at the halfway of the home and away season. They've defeated East Point by 54 points. So on behalf of the crew, Grant McMillan, Todd Whelan and Elijah in the eyes behind the camera, we bid you all a very good afternoon from a cool Darley Park.
A yawn. It's the body letting you know you can't go on without the delicious, rich new blend from McCafe. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.